FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Friday. We got a lot to get into. Right now, Kansas, they are playing in the college baseball tournament. They are up. Last time I checked, Rob, it was 4-2. Is that still the case? Is Kansas still taking care of business in the NCAA tournament?
It is currently 4-3, and the sixth inning has just top of the sixth inning. So 4-3 Kansas heading to the bottom of the sixth.
We will continue to keep you updated on what the Omaha Hawks are doing as they try to advance in the NCAA tournament. We got a lot planned in today's show. Nate Taylor is going to join us coming up in the 3 o'clock hour. There is a lot of things to talk to him about regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We got some Chiefs. We got a little bit of Royals. We got some NBA basketball with Game 7 coming up tomorrow. We're going to have a good show. We're going to have a good Friday. But before we do that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate if you did that this weekend. While you're out and about, maybe you're going to the lake. Maybe you plan on going fishing this weekend. If you just told one person to check out the show, you know what, man, that would mean a lot to me if you did that. And number three, and most importantly, you need to stop by and see our friends over at the other place, the Olathe location. They got karaoke coming up today. Rob told me he was thinking about going out there. He was thinking about singing Bye, Bye, Bye with the missus. So if you want to see Rob sing karaoke, if you want to grab something to drink, if you want to grab something to eat, maybe you want to catch the baseball game coming up later today. Maybe you want to watch Game 7 tomorrow, and you're looking for a spot to hang out and watch the game, then look no further than our friends over at the other place. 5 locations around Kansas City. Go stop by and see our pals over at the other place. All right, this is where I would like to start because we are entering a new chapter of Chiefs football. So I was getting ready for the show, and you guys know that every season, USA Today, they give their early predictions. USA Today has the Chiefs projected to go 9-8. Now, I would assume that would be a major disappointment for everybody listening if the Chiefs barely finished above 500. You're certainly not winning the division at 9-8. You're likely not making the playoffs at 9-8, and it is another lost year for the Kansas City Chiefs. But it got me thinking, and I didn't think about it from this perspective until Spectre and I were talking earlier today getting ready for the show. If you looked at Patrick Mahomes' career like a book, we are in the 3rd chapter of his career. The first chapter of Patrick Mahomes' career, that is the one with Tyreek. I would consider that to be the ascend. That is the discovery that you have a superstar player and you are walking up the mountain, brick by brick, piece by piece. You needed the Monday Night Football game against the Broncos to build the legend. You needed the back and forth with the Los Angeles Rams playing that incredible Monday Night Football game. You needed the heartbreak against the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game, the 4th down throw against the Baltimore Ravens. These were all pieces as you are walking up the mountain. That's the first part of Patrick Mahomes' career. I think the second chapter of Patrick Mahomes' career is the one without Tyreek. There's a clear line, I would say, in the Chiefs. It is with Tyreek and without Tyreek. And I think it was very obvious that Mahomes heard the conversation. I was a part of those conversations too. Hey, what is this offense going to look like If you don't have Tyreek, you're losing your number one option. You're losing one of the best deep ball threats, one of the best route runners in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes responded by winning MVP and continuing to win Super Bowls. So you had chapter one, which I would say is the ascend. It is the walk up the mountain. The second chapter of Patrick Mahomes' career is staying at the top of the mountain. And the Chiefs stayed on top of the mountain for a 4-year stretch where they were clearly the best organization in the National Football League. We are now entering a very unique chapter in Patrick Mahomes' career. This is the third act of his career. Post-ACL injury, this is by far and away the most significant injury that he's had. He's had a couple of injuries. He had the dislocated knee. He's had an ankle sprain here. But if Patrick Mahomes had torn his torn his knee up in week 3, he would have missed the rest of the season. That's not what the knee injury did. That's not what the high ankle sprains did. So just in theory, this is a very, very different injury that now he is having to come back from. This is one of the few times in Patrick Mahomes' career and in this era of Chiefs football where there is a shred of doubt. I would say right now that there are two sides for the Kansas City Chiefs. One side is expecting the Chiefs to bounce back and get back to their rightful place at the top of the AFC. There is a large portion of people that believe last year was a blip on the radar. Last year is not anything that you need to be overly concerned about. And the Chiefs are going to get right, get back on course, and get back to being Super Bowl contending teams. But when I saw that 9-8 record by USA Today, there is obviously a lot of people that are also on the other side of the coin that think that last year was not a fluke, that think that the reign is over, so to speak, with the Kansas City Chiefs. They had their time. And now the rest of the AFC is caught up with them, whether it's the Broncos or the Chargers or the Patriots or the Bills or whatever other team you want to throw out there. So now in this Act 3, after you went through the ascend, after you went up walking up the mountain, Act 2 was trying to stay at the top of the mountain and continue to dominate the rest of the AFC. In some ways, Act 3 is similar to the first one. You're trying to walk back up the mountain, but it's also now sort of a race against time. Now, I don't think Mahomes is retiring anytime soon, but he's over 30 years old now, coming off a significant injury. The parts and pieces around him are starting to change. This is just another act in his career. Brady didn't do it with the same supporting cast from start to finish. He gained some players and lost some players along the way. So whether it started with Troy Brown and ended with Rob Gronkowski, you had Randy Moss at some point, you had Wes Welker, you had Danny Amendola, you had Corey Dillon, you had James White. We know the cast of characters that Brady had to play with, but there was always one constant. It was the head coach, it was the quarterback, it was that foundation, and the Patriots dominated the National Football League for 20 years. Now on the tail end of that, coming out on the other side, it looks like a team that can do something very similar to what we saw New England do, and this is a very interesting inflection point for Kansas City. I want to play a couple of pieces of audio for you guys. Let's start with Kevin Clark. Kevin Clark and I agree. I think the number one story right now in the offseason, I think the number one story in the NFL is Patrick Mahomes going to be available for week 1 of the NFL season? Here's the conversation on NFL Live.
It's very simple. Justin Fields can't float this franchise for any amount of time beyond maybe a week. Really, that's it. This is the biggest news in football, that Patrick Mahomes looks like he's on track. It's black and white. There's no gray area here. He is the franchise. They've nailed everything as far as this offseason goes. Kenneth Walker is going to be a cheat code in the run game against those two high looks. They added pass rush with Peter Woods out of Clemson, R. Mason Thomas out of Oklahoma. Nailed getting the best cornerback in the draft among Serge Lane. But the roster is not quarterback-proof. Mahomes has to be there. We mentioned some of the tweaks the offense has to have. They have to get better at the deep ball, the explosives, all of that stuff. But guess what? Patrick Mahomes is still elite at any level of the field underneath that. He's going to be a game changer if he's there week 1. The fact that he sounds like he's on track, there can be, by definition, no bigger news in the sport.
There is just going to be a cloud of uncertainty over the Chiefs offseason until that issue is resolved. It's not going to be resolved anytime soon. And I also don't know right now if it's a dark cloud that's over the Chiefs. The tone, the sentiment, not just in Kansas City, but I think nationally, the tone is a very positive one. I think most people expect Patrick Mahomes to be there. The Vegas odds makers are expecting Patrick Mahomes to be there. So this is not to fearmonger. This is not gloom and doom, but we all can acknowledge there's a chance that Patrick has a setback. There's a chance that Patrick is not there for week one. What does that mean for him in a physical health standpoint? What does that mean for the Chiefs in 2026? That is just going to be a conversation until we get the final confirmation that Patrick Mahomes is either going to play or not going to play in that week one game against the Broncos. Now, I am not necessarily as worried about Patrick Mahomes moving forward for the 30s, but the question has to be about those around Patrick Mahomes. The supporting cast is starting to change. And the people that Patrick and the Chiefs started this journey with, they are not going to end the journey with those people. That's just how sports work. Chris Jones, the Chiefs saved $19 million if he's released at the end of the season. He's going to have a $38 million cap hit. The Chiefs are going to have a significant decision to make at the end of this season. We are playing this now year by year with Travis Kelce, whether he's going to be in the huddle or out of the huddle and decide to move on to the next stage of his life. You look at the defense, it's completely turned over. You look at the offensive weapons around you now with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and Kenneth Walker, certainly new supporting cast people. So the question isn't going to be just is Mahomes going to stay healthy and how does he continue to be the best quarterback in the National Football League? It's also how do the Chiefs continue to put the talent around him so the Chiefs can continue to win at a high level. Here is Steve Smith. He was on ESPN as well. He's got some concerns about the others on the Chiefs.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes can spin the football, right? And have an ACL, that doesn't really affect him. I can't say right now, based off watching that, you can sit there and say that they filled all the holes defensively. And the biggest issue, why I don't believe right now that they are Super Bowl contenders, is there's a lot of question marks in that wide receiver room.
Yes.
Right? You got Rashee Rice. How long is his suspension? What is it going to look like? Is he a guy who can get out of his own way? The speed merchant of Xavier Worthy, he's excellent, but his speed has not equaled up to 1,000 yards or any touchdowns, right? So they need to figure out, and then obviously having a Travis Kelce in his last couple of years, so they need to figure out offensively what is their identity. The best part about understanding what their identity is buying and acquiring Kenneth Walker III, where they can run the football. When they run the football, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're a different team. And they let Spags be Spags on the defense. He's always going to be creative. He's going to take guys that people don't necessarily deem as successful. He's going to do some things, but running the football, and they're back in the hunt.
I like the way the Chiefs have built their roster this year. I understand the concerns that Steve Smith has. They have a lot of uncertainty, really on both sides of the ball. Is Rashee Rice going to be there? Can Xavier Worthy stay healthy? Can Xavier Worthy take the next step in his career? How much longer do the Chiefs have Travis Kelce? On defense, there's nothing but questions for the Kansas City Chiefs. But the hope is, the trust is, you trust the head coach, you trust the quarterback, you trust the defensive coordinator, you trust the general manager who orchestrated this whole plan, and that foundation has allowed this organization to ascend to the top of the mountain. You have to allow them that trust to see if they can climb back up the mountain again in a much more competitive AFC than when the Chiefs started. Coming up on the other side, we're going to continue to give you updates of what Kansas is doing right now in the NCAA tournament, and also I've got a toss-up for our dear friend Rob Brenton. I really want to test his fandom. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey, winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new family-friendly features. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah. I need a little ranch, step to the ranch, come on meet me at the ranch.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
What if everything you learned in history class was only half the story? I'm Dr. Hrini Bhatt, host of Hidden History. Every Monday, I go where history gets mysterious. Vanished civilizations, doomsday prophecies, paranormal phenomena, and events that science still can't fully explain. On Hidden History, I treat these moments like open case files. Not myths, not superstition, just incomplete explanations waiting for a closer look. Listen to and follow Hidden History, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Listen to the horns play. All right. When the Royals are playing the way the Royals are playing, it forces me to think outside of the box. I have a toss-up question that I would like to ask our dear friend Rob Brenton. So you guys know that Rob is a big KU fan. Kansas alum, Kansas graduate, Kansas season ticket holder, basketball and football. He's watching the KU baseball game right now. Where are we at, Rob? What's the update for this one?
We are in the bottom of the seventh. KU still reigns up 4-3, but their starting pitchers hit 100 pitches, so I think he's done for the day. I've watched a little bit of KU baseball. They don't have a pin, so here we go.
Okay, it's gonna be tough to advance to the College World Series with no bullpen. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. So I asked Rob a couple of days ago if he would take this trade. Kansas would win the College World Series, but in exchange for Kansas winning the College World Series, Tyron Stokes, who was the #1 high school basketball recruit, who has decided to take his talents to Mass Street, Tyron Stokes would announce in August that he is not going to go to Kansas, that he's going to sit out this upcoming college basketball season, work out, and get ready for the draft. Rob said that you would not take that trade. Is that accurate? You said that you want Tyron Stokes to be there and you can live with whatever happens with the baseball team, but you're obviously wanting the baseball team to do the best that they can, and I understand.
Correct. I took the idea of the basketball team with Tyron Stokes is a higher ceiling to me than this baseball team, so I took the basketball program on the come up over the baseball program.
I got another one for you. You ready?
Why are you doing these to me? I can already tell I'm not going to like this.
This is a good one.
You call it good. I'm going to hate it.
The United States will win the World Cup.
Oh, boy.
Something you never thought you would see. And that's really your favorite team. Your favorite team is United States men's national team. More than Kansas basketball, more than Kansas football. You would be elated if the United States won the World Cup. But you know it has to come at a price. Mm-hmm. If you want what would be, honestly, it would be the greatest sports accomplishment in American history if they won the World Cup. 100%. Greater than the Olympic team in 19. If the United States won the soccer championship of the world and could walk around saying we are the best soccer team, it'd be the greatest accomplishment in modern American sports history.
On home soil, too. I assume it's the upcoming World Cup.
This World Cup coming up. The one you're going to go to. This is what it would cost you, though.
Oh, boy.
Kansas football goes winless this year, and they go winless and they fire Lance Leipold at the end of the season. Kansas basketball misses the NCAA tournament, and Bill steps down at the end of the year.
This is a heavy price.
You're asking for something monumental. How can you ask for something monumental and think that I got to tax you on the other end? That's the scenario. Option A is the United States wins the World Cup. On the other side, Kansas football does not win a game this year, and they fire Lance Leipold. Kansas basketball misses the NCAA tournament. Bill steps down at the end of the season. Are you willing to trade that, which would be the worst year of Kansas athletics in your life, for
anyone's life?
Your ultimate wish, your ultimate hope, your ultimate dream of watching the United States men's national soccer team navigate this tournament, beat Brazil or Argentina or whomever they would face in the final, and be able to call themselves the soccer champions of the world? Are you willing to pay that price?
I think I would pass on that deal. I think the price is too high. I think I'm paying $125 for $1 back. If it was just one or the other, I would be real stuck in no man's land.
You're paying $125. You think that the United States winning the World Cup would just be $1? To you, it's not $1. It'd be $7 to you.
I'm telling you, I am out on that idea. I'm out. It's close, but I'm out.
You want another scenario? This isn't even Kansas football related.
Just keep tossing me scenarios.
I got one more. This is the last one. I won't ask you any more Kansas ones. You show me you're not willing to give up anything for Kansas. Not basketball, not football, none of that. You're not willing to make that trade. That's fine. The USA wins the World Cup. You can never travel again.
Oh, I make that deal easy.
I'm not saying out of the country. I mean, you and your wife can never go on a trip again.
Metro area only forever.
Yes. Even when you have kids, kids like, oh, I want to go to Disney World. I can't go to Disney World. I made that trade a long time ago. You can never travel outside of the Kansas City metro area again. You're stuck here.
I'm fine being stuck here. That's an easy deal. We don't travel like that. Not that we dislike traveling. We're not adverse to it. But we don't, do a high amount of traveling. It would suck if we have kids. Be like, hey kids, your life is Lenexa to Lee Summit. But I would make that trade.
A whole lot of Lawrence trips.
A lot of Lawrence trips.
It's gonna be a whole lot of Lawrence. Okay, I just wanted to know. That's just why I like asking these questions.
Liberty's beautiful this time of year, kiddos. You're gonna love it.
I just wanted to know. That's a trade you would take. You wouldn't trade Kansas football not being good, but you would be willing to give up your passport. You would be willing to
hold on. There's a difference in not being good.
You would never see the beach again. You would never see another mountain.
There's a difference in K football not being good, and winless is different.
That's something you're used to. You've never seen Kansas go winless in football?
I've seen it twice.
That's what I'm saying.
Twice. Two different coaches. 4-8's bad. That's bad football.
Winless is the miserable fall.
Yeah, I forget who their bye game is this year. It's like Longwood or something.
You got Longwood coming to the crib.
They're going to beat us up? No. I can't have that.
Well, you know one thing I'm going to tell you? The United States in soccer, they're going to lose to Longwood.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who Longwood is, but you're going to tell me that they lost to some country that's the size of Kentucky. That's what you're going to tell me at some point. I don't know who that team is, but I know the United States men's soccer team, and they're absolutely going to lose to one of those things.
I mean, they'll make it out of the group, and then they'll start losing to countries you've never heard of.
Would you take that trade if, you know what, you can only travel in the state of Kansas? So I mean that's a lot of Hayes, Kansas for you. That's a lot of Wichita for you.
A lot of Wamego trips.
A lot. You're gonna have to buy a townhome in Wamego.
Residency.
Can you imagine your kid looking at you and saying, "I'm tired of going to Manhattan. This is all we can do. You better go enjoy the Flint Hills. That's all you need to do."
I mean, I can't imagine a 12-year-old sitting and being saying, "Listen, can we go somewhere other than Wichita?" No.
No, that's all we can go.
We're going to Wichita.
We can't go anywhere else. Like, how many times are we going to take a trip to Topeka? I don't know what to tell you. You better make it happen.
You better learn to love this Brown versus Board education building.
You better make
your
it
new
happen.
home. What would you give up for Missouri Final Four?
Whatever you need me to. What do you need me to give up?
There's no price too high?
Yeah, what do you need me to give up? I'm serious. What do you need? Let's say that they tell me that I'm going to live to be 83 years old. 81's fine. 81's more than fine. I don't want to be Bam Adebayo. I don't want to go over Kobe's number. I'm cool with 81. I got no problem with that. I've lived a good life. I've seen a lot of amazing things if I lived to that. I saw Missouri go to the Final Four. I was at Game 7 of the World Series. I then saw them win the World Series the next year. I've been to multiple Super Bowl parades. I've lived a great life. A very good sports life. So yeah, you tell me what you need me to give up, and I'd be happy to do that.
I'm trying to even think what because I know you love Vegas. You would give up Vegas in a heartbeat for.
I'll never go again.
Well, if no Vegas, no Derby, you're still good.
I'll watch it on television. I can still go to your Derby party at your function, right? I can still go.
It'd be on the Kansas side of
my. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go over there. I don't mind watching the Derby from Chicken and Pickle. That's fine with me.
You get a Missouri Final Four, but you have to live on the Kansas side.
Where are we moving to? Lenexa? Where are we moving to? You're saying the little one could go to a better school? Great. That's a penalty? That's a penalty? I can't wait. Please sign me up for this life. I can't wait for this life. Text line 913-586-7965. Where are we at, Rob, in the KU game? What's the score against Northeastern?
Still bottom 7. KU has a runner on, but there's one out, and their 8-hitter, their catcher is up, and he's down 1-2 in the count. So I'm not optimistic there's going to be a turnaround of runs here, although he did homer earlier in the game.
Okay. Can we talk about this for just a second? I want to talk about this. So right now, there's a little bit of beef. There's a little bit of beef right now happening in college football. So this beef started with Texas. Texas was calling out Texas Tech's schedule. You guys know long conference rivals. They're not in the same conference anymore. Tech's obviously in the Big 12. Texas has gone on to the SEC. So Steve Sarkisian, who's the head coach at Texas, he called out Texas Tech and said, basically, they only made the tournament because they don't play anybody, because their schedule is weak. Quote, there's a team in our state that plays in another conference that has a schedule that I would argue if I played our 2s and 3s, we would go undefeated and they'll probably make the college football playoff this year. Now, he didn't put any names attached to it, but I think everybody knew what team he was talking about. Now, you already know how college football works. The big money people over at Texas Tech, they got mad, and they only got one big money person. His name is Cody Campbell. He is a billionaire oil tycoon. You know the guy I'm talking about. So their head coach isn't even the one responding to this. Nope, the rich guy is responding to this. So the rich guy said, all right, hey, if you guys think you're better than us, let's go make it happen. So Cody Campbell has offered to pay the buyout in week 1 for Texas to get out of their cupcake game, Texas Tech to get out of their cupcake game. He also has set it up where they could play the game at a neutral site. So if Texas wants to make it happen, Texas Tech is saying, we're happy to accommodate, we'll make this happen. Now, here's the catch. Here's the rub of it all. If this happens in week 1, in week 2, Texas will play Ohio State. So does Texas in back-to-back weeks want to play Texas Tech at a neutral site in week 1, followed up by Ohio State at home in week 2? I mean, they might be eliminated from the playoff conversation, and we haven't gotten through Labor Day. What do you think, text line? 913-586-7965. Because from a sports competitive standpoint, I think that Texas Tech is doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And I think in a perfect world, Texas has to take that deal. Now, Texas is a word, if they don't take this deal, I can't say on the radio. The FCC will fine me. But you can't do all the yapping that they did, saying basically they only made it because of their schedule. We could put our backups with that schedule. They would have made the college football playoff. The other team then says, cool, let's set it up then. We'll pay our buyout. We'll play your buyout. We got a place for us to go play. Let's just go set it up right now. We don't have to argue about it anymore. And then Texas is going to hide behind, oh, well, we didn't really mean that. I don't think you can do that. I don't think the game can be played this way. I'm on Texas Tech's side here. I actually think we need more of this in college athletics. I like when it's old school booster wars. I like when it's old school scheduling conversations, and let's just go settle it on the gridiron. That's how I want my sports to resolve issues and conflicts. I'm on Texas Tech's side. I want Texas to take this deal. They're not going to take this deal because they're scary, but I absolutely want Texas to take this deal.
Texas made a tactical error in calling out Texas Tech. Listen, is Texas Tech the best program in college football? Absolutely 1,000% not. But anyone in and around college athletics knows they have money for days. I mean, it's not just Cody Campbell. They have other oil tycoons who's funding that program. You don't call Tech out.
He the big dog, though.
You can call out a lot of people. You don't call them out. The minute you called Tech out, the minute it happened, you knew Cody Campbell would see it. You knew their coach would see it. You knew they would start getting a plan in action when, funneling that money around to make this happen. And now you're stuck in no man's land, Sark, because the next time you talk to the media, whenever that is, maybe go on an Austin radio show, whatever the Austin equivalent of this show is, Chip Brown show, whatever, you're going to get asked about this. And when you say, no, it's not going to work, we don't want Texas Tech paying our buyout, no thanks, you're going to look soft. And you're going to look like you're ducking Texas Tech, a school that you called out. This is a Twitter tough guy getting called out and then have to say, oh, I'm busy, I can't fight. Texas is going to look so soft here when they say no, and they're going to say no.
I got no respect for this, man. So the Texas argument for why they won't take this is their schedule's too difficult? Because that's the argument, right? They can't argue it's a financial reason why they won't take this deal. They cannot argue it. They can't. There's no other argument you can make other than you think this damages your chance at making the playoff and you're afraid to play them, which I think we at least have to note. You get rewarded by playing tough teams in college football. You got to win those games. You can't go 0-2 against those games and then we're like, well, we played tough teams. I mean, at some point you got to beat tough teams. But if you think you're the best team in college football, how is this any different than what you're asking your team to do at the end of the season and navigate the playoff? You got to win games like Texas Tech, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Isn't this the best test that you can get to get your team ready for making the college football playoff? Yeah, you got to play two national powers to kick off the season. But the Ohio State game is at home. They should be favored in that game. They should absolutely be favored. They'll be a slight favorite, but Texas should be favored at home against Ohio State. And I'm also guessing they'd be favored in the game at Cowboys Stadium. And just given the fact that there are more Texas Longhorn fans than Texas Tech fans, there might be more Texas Longhorn fans than basically any college football team. There's going to be more Texas fans at the game anyway. So these are going to be two pro-Texas crowds and pro-Texas environments. You just can't be yapping like that if you're Steve Sarkisian and if you're not prepared to step in the ring and you're not prepared to fight for the title. Texas Tech seems ready to fight for the title. Here's the head coach of Texas Tech also backing it up. We want to play the Longhorns.
I've actually talked to Keith Patterson and I've talked to G.J. Kinney, and they're willing to take our games, and Abilene Christian will go to Texas State. We'll buy our contract out of Abilene Christian. I'm sure, because Texas has got a lot of money, they can buy their contract out. But I do know there's a lot of Red Raiders that will help them buy that contract out if they don't want to. And they can come to Lubbock week 1. And, we can figure out if their 2s and 3s can win this conference. And I know a lot of people are going to say a lot of stuff about me or about us. We didn't score in the playoffs. That's obvious. You can take a shot at us for that. We didn't score in the playoffs. The last time we played Texas, we got beat 57-7. And he played some of his 2s and 3s. They kicked the crap out of us. But, I know he feels really good about his team if he's making those comments. And, man, we would love to play the University of Texas week 1 in Lubbock. I do know that Cody Campbell reached out to Stephen Jones, so they don't want to come to Lubbock, and we're going to work on trying to get AT&T week 1. So if they want to play week 1, then we're ready. We would love to play the University of Texas.
I mean, what I hear is a program that's came up with solutions. Hey, we already got it set up where the 2 teams that we were supposed to play, they're going to play each other. They still going to get their money. They're going to get their bread. Nobody on that side is going to be mad. If you don't want to come here, we're happy to set up a neutral site. Our guys already been working the phones. If you want to make it happen, let's make it happen. I don't know. This is the kind of energy I like. I like this kind of energy from Texas Tech. I want more of this. I have a side note that's actually local that's related to all of this. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Missouri has agreed to play St. Louis in basketball this year. They have not played St. Louis in 20-something years. Also, Kansas State has agreed to play Wichita State. They're going to play each other in Kansas City. So K-State is playing Wichita State. Missouri has agreed to play St. Louis. And Missouri for a long – Konzo didn't want to play them. Kim Anderson had no interest in playing them. Missouri has been very anti. There's no benefit in us playing St. Louis. We know how this is happening, right? This is money. These college basketball teams are paying a lot for NIL, and their athletic director is saying, you got to go get some of that money back. You can't ask us to keep paying $10 million to put together a basketball team, and you guys aren't interested in going to go get the bread. You know what people are not excited about? People are not excited about watching you play Northeastern State University Tech here at Mizzou Arena. Yeah, if you want to go get some of this money back, you need to start playing teams like Kansas. You need to start playing teams like St. Louis. It's not a surprise to me that these things started happening after COVID or around COVID, Hey, you guys can't keep asking for more and more money, and now you're not willing to do what you need to do to go get the money for the university. So you need to go play Wichita State. Go sell out T-Mobile Center. Mizzou's not even playing that game. I would even argue a neutral site. They're playing that game in St. Louis. Now, they're not playing it in St. Louis's home venue, but they're playing basically where they play the Illinois game every year. It should be a pro-Missouri crowd, bigger school. But, yeah, I like – if this is what college athletics is going to be like now, where we got to put together the biggest and best matchups for television, and we also got to generate more revenue because of NIL, so that means us playing in better games, ultimately that ends up making a better product for us, for the fans, for the media, for people to discuss. Sign me up for this version of college athletics. I'm here for that.
I mean, if the future is less, North Carolina A&T games and more St. Louis, Wichita State, all these games, that's great. I would also say, before we go crediting Missouri, K-State, etc., I think it's worth noting the current landscape of college basketball is it's not nearly as scary hours to go play St. Louis as it was 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's not nearly as nerve-wracking to play Wichita State. The mid-major has fallen off, so credit where credit's due, they're playing the games, but it ain't the same way it was in 2017 when they were ducking these games. And I'm saying that as a Kansas fan who KU went out of their way to avoid Wichita State when Greg Marshall was there for years and years and years.
Text line 913-586-7965. Talking a little bit of college athletics. We'll get to baseball coming up at the top of the hour. Jeff Passan spoke on the proposal from the players and the proposal for the owners as they try to work to a new collective bargaining agreement. We'll get to that coming up at the top of the hour. We are wrapping up week 2 of my fitness journey, and I've got an update. I do have to ask you guys a question. I'll get to it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add 1 line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store. Family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
FanDuel is giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more, build it all into a same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, be sure to bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips. You can check stats, trends, and matchups all in one place and make your picks with confidence. It's everything you need all in one single app. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/local to bet your same-game parlays. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
This afternoon, expect stormy conditions with showers, with temperatures reaching 77.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Follow the station on Instagram @TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
All right. I'm happy that you guys are on this journey with me. I have to take you through my morning. So for those of you that have not been listening to the show, I can get you up to speed in about 30 seconds. A couple of weeks ago, I was just in my room on Instagram, and I just was like, I'm just wasting time. I got to get up. I got to do something. And at that moment, I decided, you know what, I'm going to get in the car, and I'm going to go sign up for a membership at Planet Fitness. And through TikTok, YouTube, and Google, I came up with a little workout and a little plan. A little meal plan, a little exercise plan. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I go to the gym and work out. And I try to walk in between. Now, I'm pretty proud of myself. Rob, for 10 straight days, I've walked at least 10,000 steps. That was something I wanted to do, something I wanted to accomplish. Rob, for the first time today, I skipped a workout. Now, Monday is a push day. Wednesday is a pull day. Friday is a legs day. I woke up, I had a breakfast, and in the middle of it, I just was thinking, you know what? What if I just did my steps today? What if that was it? What if I didn't go in here and do the legs day today? What if I just went on a nice little walk? So, Rob, I can show you. I got proof. I went on an hour walk today. I was like, you know what? If I'm not going to go to the gym today, I at least want to be able to say I did something. I at least want to say that I stayed on track. So I went out and I walked for an hour. Is that enough? Because I think I've been doing a good job. I've been following the plan word for word. I got up and I just was like, I don't want to go to the gym today. I don't have any interest in going in there today. None, not even a little bit. But I still wanted to do something. I don't want to feel like a slacker. I don't want to feel like I've gotten off course. So that's why I wanted to ask you guys. Maybe you're telling me, no, you got to stick with it. You got to go now. I do feel a lot better now than I did. It was like 9 o'clock. I was like, you know what? I just want to watch First Take. That's what I did. I just want to watch First Take. That's all I wanted to do. So I ate. I got up. I went on a nice little hour-long walk. I listened to the most recent Colin Cowherd podcast. They had Danny on there. They were doing over-unders. That's my kind of time. Danny, Colin Cowherd, going through NFL over-unders. Sign me up for that. I also listened to a little bit of Bill Simmons for his Game 7 preview and Game 6 rewind from what we saw last night. We'll get to that here in a bit. I just want to know if this is the start of me just giving up on this and no longer going to the gym. I don't feel that way, but I want to ask you guys because I'm imagining what happens with a lot of people is this. Oh, I'll just do this instead. And then next thing you know, I wake up and I've just completely given up on this thing 23 days into this process.
So let me ask you this. I think you're fine because you did enough walking to fulfill a workout today. But are you worried about it becoming a slippery slope? Because I think, and I'm a person who doesn't go to the gym, so maybe I'm a bad person to ask. I think, covering it or finding a way in the aggregate to replace the gym is not bad. But you can't, whatever your next gym day is, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, whatever your next gym day is, you can't skip 2 in a row because that becomes a trend. So
okay.
I think you're okay today. But if it's Tuesday and we're doing the show and you're like, by the way, I've skipped a couple now. No. That means that you quit the journey 2 weeks in. I think you are okay to, we'll call it a slip up, but you can't, give up.
Okay, someone on the text line, C-Dot, how many steps a day did you take before? Because 10K in a day is easy work. One thing I have learned, at least in my life, 10K a day is not easy work. Like, I have to go out of my way to do this. You also got to factor, some of you just have different jobs than I have. I spend a large portion of the day sitting down. I'm not doing the show walking around. So I would say from basically 11:30 to 6. For the most part, I'm sitting down every single day. So getting to 10,000 steps, if I look back at what I used to do in a month, it takes active. I need to make it a point and a priority to go out and walk. So hold on, let me pull this up here just to give you an idea of what I do from a month by month basis. Let me pull this up here, Rob, so I can let people know what my average is. So in May, I averaged 5,400 steps is what I averaged in April, just to give you an idea. So right now, my average for the last 10 days is a little under 1,100. I do feel like, all right, I've made it a big point to get up, try to move a little bit more, try to eat a little bit different. I haven't broken my diet. I'm still eating the way I think I should be eating. I'm trying to focus on simple ingredients, not getting the fast food, meal prepping. I'm still doing all of those things. But I did wake up today like, man, I got no interest in going to the gym and working on legs. I got no interest in doing squats today. Text line's telling me I got to go.
See, I think one off day, you filled the gap and you did some cardio and that's fine, but I don't think you can be Saturday, Sunday, no gym now. I don't know your weekend plans. I know you do hosting on national radio. I don't think you can go a full 3-day skip and then still be like, yeah, I'm still locked in. I think you got to find another time to get to the gym, but I think for today, filling with a 10,000 step walk is not the worst thing in the world.
Okay, the text line is telling me that I got to go. That's what the text line is telling me. See, that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys. We're on this journey together. Hopefully me going through this journey has encouraged you to get out and walk a little bit today. Right now, Rob, let me tell you where I'm at from a steps perspective, and then we can move on from this. Right now, I'm at 7,600 steps. I do have a plan after the show to go on a 30-minute walk. I'm going to knock this 10K out real easy today. Real easy. Light work today.
If you walk after the show, you'll definitely hit 10K.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the weather should hold up, so you should be good. That's the other part of this.
Text line is saying I gotta go today. That's what they're saying. I gotta push myself.
I think you go tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the day you gotta go.
I'm not going tomorrow.
Then you gotta go Sunday. You gotta go one of the weekend days.
I know me. I'm not going tomorrow. I got stuff I gotta do during the day, and it's Game 7 tomorrow. I'm not going tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather go today than I'd rather push myself.
Then today's the day to push yourself.
I'd rather push myself than go tomorrow if I got to do it. I got to just find the motivation. I got to just grind and do all that. I got to just grind.
Text line is saying if you're only going 3 times a week, to miss one that is not great.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys. Somebody's saying, C-Dot, you got to go to the gym, but you can get a walking pad so you can walk while you're in the studio. I'm not doing that. I'm not that committed to this. I'm not. I got to bring a walking pad up here. I'd rather just walk when it's over. Now, when it gets cold outside and I can't do that outside walk, we can have a conversation about what I need to do. But yeah, I'm just telling you. So that's what I did today. That was my morning is what I accomplished earlier today. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to play what Jeff Passan had to say. We are going to talk a little bit about the baseball negotiations right now. The players want one thing. The owners want one thing. They're going back and forth. They're having a little disagreement about what they're going to do and all of that. So we'll get to that coming up in a little bit. We've been talking a little bit of football today as well about Patrick Mahomes. We started the show today with there have been multiple chapters in Patrick Mahomes' career. I would say step 1 was the ascend. It was the climbing up the mountain. The second chapter of his career, I would call the defense. It is defending what's yours. You now sit on the throne like Game of Thrones, and now there's other competing families and factions trying to knock you off your perch. And now you got to try to battle all of them. You now got defeated, and now step 3 is the comeback. It is the same process of trying to walk back up the mountain, because in some ways the Chiefs are no longer the darling, at least not in people's predictions the way they were. There was a time there where you could not consider taking anybody else in the AFC West. You got laughed at if you took Denver. You got laughed at if you took the Chargers. Trust me, there will be a lot of people taking Denver to win the AFC West. There will be a lot of people taking Los Angeles to win the division. And I don't really know how mad you can be at them for that being the case. Coming up in the 3 o'clock hour as well, Nate Taylor will be on the show. We'll catch up with him. We'll get his thoughts on everything. Coming up at the top of the hour, let's talk about baseball. Are they headed for a lockout? We'll get to it. Keep it right here. So Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mo's & Sons.
Well, boy, it's getting hot out there. Now, if your AC is making funny noises, just needs a once-over, or your home isn't as cool as it used to be, visit cmmosandsons.com. CM Mo's & Sons. License 202919.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, and Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford.
I keep seeing celebrities posts, me in the 90s versus now. Well, the person staring at me in the mirror is definitely not the same person that could pull off bootcut jeans. Time creeps up on us so slowly. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Same thing goes for your bills. $1 here, an uptick there. It's a slow burn until one day you realize the price you're paying now is way higher than when you signed up. But at T-Mobile, customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. And with T-Mobile on their experience plans, you get a 5-year price guarantee, so you know exactly what your plan price will be for the next 5 years. So at least that's one thing that won't change over time. I can't guarantee you'll still look good with frosted tips, but T-Mobile can give you a clear guarantee on your wireless plan.
Lower bills based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
You've got better things to do this summer than deal with old appliances. That's why right now at Lowe's, you can still get in on Memorial Day savings and get up to 45% off select major appliances. Plus, get up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. It's time to upgrade what's outdated. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/3. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, we're going to get back to football here coming up in a bit. Our guy Nate Taylor, ESPN, is going to join us on the show in 15 minutes. There's a lot to talk about, but let's talk about, I would say right now, this is the biggest story in baseball. Maybe that's a bad thing for the game, but a story that every single baseball fan cares about. Like, you guys don't want us to talk about the NL West race. You don't want us to break down the AL wildcard race. The biggest story right now in baseball is the negotiation between the Players Association and the owners and what that means for the financials of the sport. Here is Jeff Passan of ESPN, who has become the #1 and top baseball reporter. Here he is talking about how the two sides could not be farther away in their negotiations.
The sides could not be any farther apart, not just in terms of what they are proposing, but in terms of just the straight philosophy of how they think baseball should be run. Major League Baseball's economic system has been the same since the MLBPA started back in the late 1960s. MLB is proposing a wholesale change to that. And the last time MLB proposed a salary cap, Jay, was 1994. And the World Series wound up getting canceled that year because of a player strike. This time, the expectation, if they can't come to an agreement by December 1st, is that the league will lock out the players. And just how protracted this becomes is a question we won't know for months, but will be on the minds of everyone who's a baseball fan.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, I believe that baseball lost a lot of fans the last time there was a lockout. This is a part that I don't think any of us can get the answer to. Do you think baseball loses fans if the owners are fighting for something that you, the fans, want? You, the fans, want a hard salary cap. You are firmly on the side of the owners in this negotiation. Now, I think most of the time the public is on the side of the owners, but in this one, I would say the owner's interest and what fans are telling you they want from their sport, I don't know have ever been more aligned in a negotiation like this. I don't think that fans and the owners are aligned in the NFL in terms of what they want. I do think they are in the baseball negotiations. I think fans want teams at the bottom to spend more money, which is what the owners are announcing. They want the bad teams to spend more money, and they want the teams at the top to spend less money and redistribute those resources throughout the sport to make every team more viable. So I don't know if that is how this conversation ends. I am genuinely curious. 913-586-7965. If these two sides can't come to an agreement and there ultimately is a lockout, does that have long-term damage to the sport when the owners are fighting for what you want as a fan? The players are not fighting for what you want. The players don't want a cap. They don't want a new system. They want the system that they already have. And I understand that system's been working great for them. That system's been amazing. They're making money hand over fist. They got deferred payments. There's no cap on how much we can make. Yeah, the player system is working great. The owners have said, we're done doing that. And I think we've seen enough of these negotiations. If it's going to be the side of the billionaires on one side and the millionaires on the other side, the owners will likely win this. And what I think ultimately is going to happen is I think the owners are just going to win the public sentiment vote. I don't think the players are going to have many people on their side. I think you're starting to see that now in the way that these two things are proposed. Hey, we're giving you everything. Hey, you guys want the bad teams to spend a little bit more. You want teams like the Dodgers to not be able to hoard all the talent. I think if you sell that to the public, I think the public is going to buy it. So I don't know if a lockout is the worst thing that could happen for Major League Baseball, because ultimately I think it's in line with what the public wants from the sport.
It is fascinating to hear Jeff Passan in that comment say, well, he's on SportsCenter, say that they haven't had a change in financial structure since the union was founded in the 60s. This is a massive undertaking by the owners to try to totally revamp the sport. This isn't, football was created in the 60s. The NFL basically merged in like the 60s. This isn't an adjustment there. This isn't an adjustment here. This is we are starting over from scratch. We are restarting on to the next. I am fascinated by how this goes because you're right. The fans are correct. The owners want a cap. Fans want that. Do you think fans want a basement, though? Because I think that's where the players need to start fighting, is that the owners don't want a basement. And I think the fan wants a basement. If you're a fan in Pittsburgh and Colorado and Miami, you don't want to see a cap. I mean, you do, but what you really want to see more than anything is requirement of spending at all. The owners want to concede that to win the PR battle, but you're right. Right now, the PR battle is on the side of the owners.
I also think, and someone on the text line says this, text line 913-586-7965. I'm perfectly fine if there's no baseball season next year if it results in a salary cap and a salary floor. I think what has happened over the last 4 to 5 seasons with the Dodgers is they have become the face of a problem that fans have already felt for some time. Nobody in Buffalo feels like their team can't win the championship. Nobody in Jacksonville feels like their team can't win a championship. The financials in the NFL do not prohibit everybody from having a chance to win. Everybody in the NFL has an equal chance of winning the championship. It comes down to who you hire, who you have coach the team, how you draft. It's much more determined on your own ability. In baseball, the perception is there's a handful of organizations that have no chance of winning. And the Dodgers, in my opinion, have sort of rubbed your nose in that for the last couple of years by being able to do things financially that nobody else can do. We can have the conversation about the Royals and whether you think they should spend more money or whether or not you think they're being cheap. The Dodgers generate so much local television money. There is no way that Kansas City can be competitive in that market. None. Their television deal is worth more than the Royals organization is worth. How much money John Sherman spent on buying the Royals, just the Dodgers television deal is more valuable than that. That's before they ever sell a jersey. That's before they ever sell tickets. That's before they do any other business. That television deal. I think that people are very, very frustrated with the economy and the economics of baseball. So I think what you are going to see is there's a lot more Cincinnatis, a lot more Milwaukees and Pittsburghs and Minnesotas and Kansas Cities than there are the major markets that spend money. So yes, I think there's going to be an adage where those teams at the bottom, they can't continue to keep getting over. Because some of these teams have been getting over. Tampa Bay has been getting over for quite some time. Miami has been getting over. Minnesota, to some regard. They've been a small market team now for 30 years, crying the same poverty. Meanwhile, they built a stadium in downtown Minneapolis and making money hand over fist. There's going to be much more of a responsibility from those teams, but it's also going to be, it is not good for baseball that the Dodgers spend $420 million on their roster and the average in baseball is $197. That is not good for the sport.
It is one of the reasons, there's a lot of reasons why. I think the NFL knowing how television works is another major reason, but this is one of the reasons why there's a perception that football has passed the MLB by. Is because there is a thought, there is a feeling, and it's been this way for a while. When David Glass bought the team in the 90s, there was a thought that he can't keep up with Steinbrenner and the Yankees. It's now just a new villain, and there's more teams not doing it. So it is not a new problem in baseball, but I think we've hit a tipping point when you have Ohtani, Kyle Tucker, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman all on one team. It wasn't that level of super team when it was the Yankees. This is the same problem baseball's had for a while. They kept surviving the issue. I think now they've reached a tipping point where owners are breaking ranks. It's no longer, hey, I'm the Reds owner and I feel the same way the Red Sox owner feels. I think the Red Sox, Yankees, those owners feel very differently than the Dodgers owner does, which leads this tipping point of saying we need a cap.
Now, I do think that some of the small market owners have really overplayed this hand, and I think they've just communicated this to their fans. Text line 913-586-7965. If the owners can get a salary cap and a floor, then they should hold out for as long as they want. I won't miss a sport where we can't win. I think the Royals have a chance of winning in today's market. I don't think the Royals have made a lot of smart moves to win. Like, that is where I think in some regards, I think that baseball owners have kind of hoodwinked their fans. You remember, Rob, when there was a major push to tank in baseball? There was a big push where owners had convinced their public, hey, it's not in our best interest to try to be competitive this year. Almost basically the same argument that people tell me why they don't watch the NBA is because it promotes tanking. Baseball had that issue. Owners were selling this to their fans. Yeah, I think I'm with you. The financials of the game absolutely play a part. But I also think we know enough about baseball to know just because you spend a lot of money doesn't mean you're automatically going to win. The Mets are terrible. The Mets payroll is $200 million more than the Royals. They have the same record. So it's not just all throwing money at a problem. It's not all doing that. You got to be smart with how you spend money. You got to develop well. You got to do those things. I mean, the Mariners are middle of the pack when it comes to payroll. They had a chance to go to the World Series last year. So I understand the economics of the game would certainly absolutely help. There's no question. But just like in college football and college basketball, just because your team spends a lot of money is not a guarantee that your team is going to be good. And I do think that baseball owners have programmed smaller market teams to think there's no way we can be competitive. We don't have enough money. So what crutch are some of these teams going to use? Because, for example, are the Royals drastically different in a salary cap world? They're already above what the floor was going to be. Do we think the Royals are going to get to the ceiling of what the salary cap is? Because, I mean, right now, the ceiling for the luxury tax is $244, and the Royals are $60 million underneath that. So I don't know if all of a sudden now in this new salary cap war, the Royals are now spending some exorbitant amount of money where they're always going to be near the top of the cap. I'm going to guess the Royals more times than not will be closer to the floor than they will be towards the top of the market when it comes to it. But that's not going to be the case in every single city. That will not be the case in St. Louis, for example. Their organization will spend money on the team. So I just at least want to point that out, that the Royals, they're not even close to what the ceiling is now for what it is. That's $244. Once you get over $244, you start paying the luxury tax. The Royals are nowhere close to paying the luxury tax on all of these things. They're below the average right now when it comes to payroll. Coming up on the other side, Nate Taylor is going to join us. A lot of Chiefs things to discuss. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
This is one of my favorite times of the sports calendar, and FanDuel is celebrating it right. FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day of the NBA playoffs. We're talking special drops that you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. The best part of this is it's every single day. All you need to do is head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. I absolutely love the NBA playoffs. I'm talking of every day, every night. Incredible basketball played at the highest level by the biggest stars in the game. So it doesn't matter if it's a buzzer beater or it's a series sweep. They got you covered over on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. So whether you're betting the early game or you're getting ready for the prime time, make sure that you open up the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you today. Go to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out,
leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, and we're taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new features. Join us June 4th through 7th at our exciting new location at the Overland Park Convention Center. Get up close to the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss your chance to see your future of driving all in one place. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th at Overland Park Convention Center.
Chris Stegall lied about President Trump.
Donald Trump's not a conservative. I will not support Donald Trump.
And now he's lying about Nathan Willett.
Woke Willett spent $631,000 of your money on transgender outreach programs.
Those are flat-out lies from Chris Stegall, who attacks President Trump.
And here's the proof. He voted against trans surgeries and trans bathrooms. Nathan Willett is a Christian, conservative, and seventh-generation North Missourian.
I'm Nathan Willett. I'll fight for President Trump, and I approve this message. Paid for by Nathan Willett for Congress.
A cool and crisp Modelo tastes good. But you know what tastes even better? That survived the evening rush Modelo. That post-12-hour shift Modelo. That fought for every rebound Modelo. That just clocked out on a Friday Modelo. That Modelo you earned is just better. That Modelo is the markable fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. You'll always pay less in Paola. We've got the problem downtown, 70 westbound, just past Troost for crash cleanup. They say in the next few minutes they should be at least, one lane will be open for you to get through there. Spring Hail means big savings at New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. Save up to $15,000 on hail damage, new and used vehicles, plus all factory incentives. But this hail of a sale won't last long. New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. You'll always pay less in Paola. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Nate Taylor of ESPN. A lot of Chiefs topics to get to. Nate, how you doing, my man?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, Carrington. How are you, buddy?
Nate, what's your Chick-fil-A order?
Ooh, it's one of two things, right? I do like the spicy deluxe, with fries and like a shake or a Sunjoy. But if I'm trying to be like, if I want something like not spicy, I do the Cool Wrap. Dip it in buffalo sauce. It's pretty great.
So, Nate, there's, I think, two topics with the Chiefs right now that are kind of dominating the conversation, and then we'll kind of dive off from there. You've been at OTAs. Do you think that OTAs is more about Patrick Mahomes being there or Rashee Rice not being there?
This is great. Can I say it's because it's really about Rashee Rice not being there because Patrick Mahomes is there. Like, I think there's something really fascinating about a guy doing, and I reported this yesterday about, Patrick doing everything he possibly can to get that, 3 days yesterday, I guess Tuesday through Thursday, to be with his teammates, to be back throwing a football, to be going through some form of normalcy in his calendar, even though we know he's coming back from, the most significant injury of his career. And then I had to, some people caught what I was doing. It was partly because, like, it's Twitter. There's a character count. But yeah, I have to write yesterday that, like, Rashee Rice, quote, or comma, who is in jail, and who's also, trying to come back from, a more minor procedure with the knee scope. But, like, he's still their number one receiver. And it's a massive thing that both Patrick and Xavier Worthy had procedures and have done everything to be available so that they can be on the field together. And Rashee Rice is, as we all know, still in jail.
Has anybody told you why Rashee waited so long to get his surgery? Why this surgery didn't happen earlier in the season? Because, he didn't play the final 3 games of the season. He didn't get his surgery until May?
The answer, Carrington's no. No one has been able to tell me why he did this, basically early May. For people who are trying to understand, he finishes his season, unfortunately, with a concussion. They sat him out of the last, 2 to 3 games. Obviously, we know they didn't make the playoffs, so you could have had most of January and all of February to take this to have this taken care of. Now, I don't know, and again, these are questions to ask Rashee, because again, I haven't heard definitively why you would wait versus doing it later. One thought is that, like, okay, you thought the discomfort or the issue was going to take care of itself over the long term, and like maybe in training you just realize I got to get this taken care of, and that may have been in like February, March, and then you have to decide, okay, which doctor do I want to go to? Do I want to do the same one who did the knee, back in 2023, 2024? Do I want to, get a second opinion? Okay, when do I want to schedule this out? I got family, I got kids, like, the whole thing. I'm trying to give Rashee the benefit of the doubt as to like why you would wait until May. The also thought is like, well, whenever you have this done, yeah, you're gonna have to take 2 to 3 months to like have a rehab, to have a recovery. As we all know, he still has these 30 days in jail that he was going to serve essentially within a year of him agreeing to the 5-year probation as part of his punishment for, him being involved in that multi-car crash in 2024. So, I mean, the timing is really bungled just on the face of it. I don't know exactly the particulars. Again, that's something to ask Rasheed when we do get to talk to him. That will probably be, I guess, in training camp whenever he attempts to make his return to the practice field. But no one's been able to explain to me, Carrington, definitively why you would wait, knowing you still had 30 days to likely serve based on the judge's requirement of your 5-year probation. And also, if you really were experiencing more pain than usual in your, training in March or February, why would you wait until May? It's man, I don't feel like I'm helping you, but this is me talking out loud based on the information that at least we do have and the timeline that all of this has occurred since the offseason really began in February.
I got one more Rasheed Rice question, and then we'll get back to Patrick Mahomes. Right now we're talking to Nate Taylor. Do we have any reason to believe that Rasheed Rice could be suspended for the early portion of the season? The Chiefs didn't seem to give that indication, but, they're not really going to show their hands too much. Do you have any reason to believe that Rasheed Rice could be suspended for week 1 of the NFL season?
Okay, let's really go big picture, and then I'm going to do this from a very technical standpoint. Big picture, the Chiefs are like, look, he was going to do these 30 days. It's unfortunate that he tested positive for marijuana in, Dallas, Texas. And, the judge is like, what are you doing? You know what? Actually just do the 30 days now. Hey, he hasn't done anything, beyond that. Like, he was going to serve these 30 days regardless. So, we as an organization are asking you, the NFL, to be lenient and to understand that, he was going to be in jail at some point, right? Now, you already suspended him 6 games for his punishment of, violating the personal conduct policy, which is essentially putting anybody in danger when you are either not at work or just, trying to be an upholding citizen while also being a employee of the National Football League. Now, technically, if the league wanted to be real technical about it, Carrington, they could say, hey, you violated a portion of your probation. You, didn't get through your probation without any unblemished marks. You don't have a clean sheet. This is not going to be taken off your record. Now, I guess that's still technically possible, but again, as of right now, you have not fulfilled all the things that you agreed to when you said, hey, I'm going to agree to this, plea, and I'm going to do these 5 years, and I'm going to do everything I want to do. So again, because you're already a first-time offender, and you didn't necessarily, again, from a technical standpoint, you don't have a clean record after this, we could technically deem you again as a repeat offender of the personal conduct policy. Now, again, you didn't put anybody else in danger. You just had a simple mistake as part of your plea agreement. But, hey, if we wanted to, we could make an example out of you because we've already done that. I don't think the league really cares right now, Carrington, to suspend him. But if they wanted to, I guess they have some technical ground, and that would be a real good argument between the league and the Players Association as to, how do you interpret the personal conduct policy, even though we all know he's got a reputation and he's already been suspended once, so he's already on kind of high alert. For this to happen the very next offseason, that would be a great sort of lawyer. How do we interpret these things? Who's right? Who's wrong from a technicality standpoint? But Roger Goodell has a lot of power, and if Roger Goodell and Troy Vincent feel like, hey, maybe he isn't quite understanding us, they can say, hey, you violated the personal conduct policy again, but I'm not sure the league is in the interest right now to go through that sort of I won't say headache, but just to go through that sort of complex, long, ongoing back and forth about like who's right, who's wrong when it comes to like the technical part of did he violate, his rules and our policy again, and that's why he's in jail when all he had to do was just, follow everything that was in order of his probationary status. He wouldn't have been in jail, or he would have had maybe a continuation. Maybe the judge would have been a little bit lenient on him and said, hey, if you cleared through this for the first year, maybe you don't have to serve these 30 days. Now, again, a lot of information. I know that's a little long-winded, but I think the headline is that the Chiefs are hoping the league is lenient, and I'm not sure the league is wanting to do anything right now unless he comes out of jail and then something else happens.
Right now, we're talking to Nate Taylor of ESPN, going through some of the top storylines right now regarding the Kansas City Chiefs as we are wrapping up weekend 1 of OTAs. Nate, the tone that I got around Patrick Mahomes, it's just been really, really positive. Now, obviously, a setback can happen. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. But it's not just to me that Pat is anticipating playing in week 1. It feels like the organization is anticipating that Pat's going to participate in week 1.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason, Carrington, why you make a depth chart. There's a reason why you have these practices. There's a reason why you say, hey, you get these many reps, and the other guy who also plays your position gets this many reps, because in a perfect scenario, he will be playing more than you will. As I reported yesterday for ESPN, Patrick did just about everything except for, from a precautionary reason, let's just take him out of 11 on 11, because we don't want him to be a part of unnecessary foot traffic in the pocket, right? Because it's still, late May. But I mean, could he have participated in the team period, the 11 on 11? Of course he could have. Carrington, I was fascinated that he's jogging, that he's going through his dropbacks at a pretty moderate pace, right? I mean, I've seen enough practice to know that none of this is ever game speed, especially when it's, May. Now, maybe the closest you get to game speed is the middle of training camp before the team sort of dials it back to get guys, healthy and to get guys a little bit more wear and tear on their bodies to prepare them for the speed of the game for opening night. But look, the arm is still the arm. I think that was something that it was really cool to just see in person. It's okay, well, if he's got this level of mobility right now, if he can stand in the pocket, plant his feet, and let it rip, how does the ball come out of his hands? Oh, my Lord. I almost forgot how good he is at throwing the football when given time and not under duress. And, of course, this is not, a padded practice. But in terms of the timing, the accuracy, just the joy of him being back with his teammates, of saying, hey, this is where I like you to be, against this coverage, or, hey, Kenneth Walker, here's why I made this audible call in the middle of the rep or before, we actually snap the football, just so that you can see this is what I'm thinking if the defense does ... I mean, all those things are going to matter over time. That's why you have these practices in the off season. So one could assume if everything trends the way it's continued to trend, Patrick Mahomes could basically do just about everything for mandatory minicamp, get another month, maybe 5 to 6 weeks off, get more rehab, more treatment, more time to let his, knees strengthen to where he could maybe do just about everything you'd want him to do in training camp, knowing that ain't nobody in the world going to touch him in training camp unless they want to lose their job. So he's done an incredible job to look this well, based on people seeing it via video, or even, me and a few of my peers in person yesterday saying, okay, there's still clearly a difference. And this is no slight, but this is just the reality. There's still clearly a difference when Patrick Mahomes throws the football, and then when Justin Fields, who's had successful moments in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, there's a clear difference when he throws the football. And so, yeah, if you're the Chiefs, you're that guy's definitely starting over this guy. And we think his knee will get stronger between now and September 14th.
I got 2 questions left to get you out of here. The first question is, who do you think is more likely to help the offense this year? Do you think it's Jared Wiley or Jalen Royals?
That's good. I feel like Jalen Royals needs a certain level of circumstances that aren't in his control to give him enough chances to be on the field, to be a contributor. The Chiefs, as we know, Carrington, have pretty much copied and pasted last year's tight end depth chart. So you're further away from Jared Wiley's own ACL injury, and we now know that, hey, in year 3, you should know the ins and out of the offense. I know Travis Kelce wasn't there yesterday because, A, he don't have to be. I want to remind everybody, these are voluntary practices, and Travis Kelce's been in the offense longer than, half the assistant coaching staff. But with him not being there, it does say, okay, well, hey, let me get a feel for the depth chart. And all of a sudden, Jared Wiley's out there quite a bit with with Mahomes and the rest of the projected starters, as I should say, because Noah Gray's like, hey, bud, I'm in here a long time. You want to take these reps for me real quick? So I think on the face of it, Jared Wiley is your third tight end. We know they like to use multiple tight ends. They should. The statistics suggest that they should do that, especially now that you have a more legitimate threat in terms of the running game with Kenneth Walker. There's no Robert Tonyan this year, as we all know, at least as of now. So I think Jared Wiley has a better chance of being a nice contributor, whereas Jalen Royals would need Rashee Rice to, I don't know, maybe be unreliable or maybe his knee not work out. There's still the chance of the Chiefs going out and being like, all right, Juju, what do you want? You want another year? Let's do this. Tyquan Thornton's going to take on more snaps. This should be an exciting year for Xavier Worthy, because he needs to take a leap in year 3. A lot of things would have to happen for Jalen Royals to all of a sudden emerge as a guy that Mahomes is going to be on the field with quite a bit.
Last thing here. Tell me one interesting thing right now about the Chiefs defense.
We got a true competition at the nickel, Carrington. And that might not seem like a big deal now in late May, but it is fascinating to know that, they have Caillou, they have Christian Roland Wallace, they have, Jaden, the rookie they drafted, obviously, a couple weeks ago, and they're all going to have a shot to rotate in because we now know that Mansour Delane is going to be somewhere on the outside, we believe. You have a really good 2-3 with Fulton and Noel Williams. We didn't see Fulton yesterday either, Carrington, so we got a lot of time to see Noel Williams on the outside, see what his, understanding of the playbook is from year 1 to year 2. I thought that was a nice little tidbit for myself, but we don't know who's going to be the nickel cornerback, Carrington. And what I can tell Chiefs fans, and hopefully they'll be screaming hallelujah, I didn't see Chamari Connor do it yesterday. So, hey, Chamari Connor's a safety alongside Jaden Hicks and Aloy Gilman. And he's back, I think, at least as of yesterday, at his natural position. But we don't know who the nickel cornerback is, and that's fascinating because, Spagnuolo's going to want that player to do a bunch of things now that we don't have Trent McDuffie and we don't have to necessarily see based on just whatever was left of putting, I thought Chamari Connor in an unsatisfied, position of being like, well, hey, you've been here long enough, you go do it. When it was clear that Trent McDuffie wanted to be on the outside because he wanted to prove that hey, I'm a top corner, I want to be paid like a top corner. Well, now he's a member of the Los Angeles Rams. Maybe it's Christian Roland Wallace, but that'll be something to keep track of throughout all the training camp.
That is our guy, Nate Taylor, joining us on the show today. He is with ESPN Talking Chiefs. Nate, we'll catch up with you next week after part 2 of OTAs.
All right, man. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. That's Nate Taylor joining us on the show today, talking a little bit of Chiefs. I have a handful of Chiefs toss-ups that we'll get to coming up at the top of the hour. I am very curious what you guys think. Who do you think is more likely to help the Chiefs in 2026? Do you think it's Jared Wiley or do you think it is Jalen Royals? Which one of those two do you think could potentially add to the offense? Because neither one of them added to the offense in 2025. I would be surprised if Rashee Rice is suspended. I'd be surprised. I don't really know if there's reason to suspend him if you're the National Football League, other than we want to deliver a message. I don't really know if you can deliver a stronger message than going to jail. That seems like a pretty strong message to me. Having to spend 30 days in jail while rehabbing from a knee injury seems to me like, you know what? I think he's learned his lesson this year. This is a legal matter at this point. This is not a new incident. You're also not suspending him for something new. He always had to go to jail. Always. So I would be surprised. And if the league is trying to suspend Rashee Rice, I think there is a significant fight that would be at the hands of the NFL Players Association. I don't really think there's much grounds or basis to suspend Rashee Rice for the first couple of games of the season, but it's also the NFL, and sometimes they just decide what they want to do when it comes to the rules. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, I'm going to give you guys a couple of Chiefs toss-ups. Let's talk a little bit of basketball coming up on the other side. We are heading towards a Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. Back goes Ward to the wall. Gone, Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family-owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
When Bill Lambert started Midwest Heating, he realized something very quickly. The most important thing a customer can give you isn't their money, it's their trust. I'm Airman for Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Midwest and Lennox are now offering up to $1,400 rebates on high-efficiency home comfort systems and 0% 60-month financing with approved credit on these qualifying Lennox systems. Every day, we strive to meet the highest standards in the industry, yours. But we are human. If we make a rare mistake, we make it right, and right away. That's what Bill instilled in all of us. Now, the third generation stands on the shoulders of the past, improves on it, and passes it on to the next. Give us the chance to earn your business. Just dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com. Trust your air to the best. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I keep seeing celebrities posts, me in the 90s versus now. Well, the person staring at me in the mirror is definitely not the same person that could pull off bootcut jeans. Time creeps up on us so slowly. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Same thing goes for your bills. $1 here, an uptick there. It's a slow burn until one day you realize the price you're paying now is way higher than when you signed up. But at T-Mobile, customers had the lowest wireless bills versus Verizon and AT&T over the past 5 years. And with T-Mobile on their experience plans, you get a 5-year price guarantee, so you know exactly what your plan price will be for the next 5 years. So at least that's one thing that won't change over time. I can't guarantee you'll still look good with frosted tips, but T-Mobile can give you a clear guarantee on your wireless plan.
Lower bills based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 21 to Q4 25 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again,
800-358-6868. The U.S. Treasury quietly released its official financial report for 2025. It appears by its own numbers, the U.S. government seems insolvent. It's reported that the Treasury shows about $6 trillion in assets and over $47 trillion in liabilities. Add it all up, and it looks like the U.S. owes more than $130 trillion it doesn't have. If that were a family, they'd earn $52,000 a year, spend $73,000, and already be more than $1 million underwater. Any accountant would call that insolvent. So how does the government fix this? It can print money, which erodes your purchasing power, it can raise taxes, or it can cut benefits. And none of those can help to protect you. That's why many people who have something to lose move part of their savings into physical gold and silver, assets that can't be printed, defaulted on, or voted away. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide and a no-pressure conversation. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th, Overland Park Convention Center, downtown. Okay, more red. Yep, backups are building. 70 westbound closed just past Troost. We've also got the crash in Lee Summit, 50 eastbound at 3rd. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Happy to be here. We'll talk Chiefs. We'll do some toss-ups coming up at the top of the hour. I also have a little bit of World Cup that I want to sprinkle in. You know what? Why don't we talk about two of your least favorite topics all at one time? Why don't we talk a little NBA and World Cup in this and just make this your least favorite podcast segment for the day? Let's talk a little bit of basketball. For as competitive as this series has been, tied at 3-3. We had one epic game in game one. We're heading to a game 7. I don't know, Rob. This series has been kind of in a lot of ways. Game 1 was phenomenal. I thought game 2 was a good basketball game. I thought it was a good basketball game. Not an instant classic, not one we're going to talk about, but the second game was good. Games 3, 4, 5, and 6 have all just been stinkers in a lot of ways. I was locked in yesterday, excited. That game was never really that close. That game was never really that competitive. Now, ultimately, we get what I think everybody wanted. This is going 7. Saturday night, San Antonio, Oklahoma City. The winner goes to face the New York Knicks on Wednesday in the NBA Finals. But it feels crazy to say that about these two teams, how good they are, how evenly matched I think these two teams are, the talent that's on both sides of the floor. This hasn't really been a great series, I think, in terms of the play on the court. I think it can be a very symbolic series, especially if San Antonio wins on the road in Game 7 and Wemby gets to his first ever NBA Finals. But this individual series, the way that it's played out, hasn't been that good.
Isn't this how a lot of series that go 7 work, though? Or is this a modern NBA thing? Because I'm thinking about...
It's just been 4 straight blowouts.
Because I think a great series we think of, 7-game series we think of recently. Last year's NBA Finals was a very good back and forth.
Yeah, for sure.
There were blowouts in the NBA Finals. Like, it wasn't 7 games of buzzer beaters. There have been... The Cavs and Warriors come to mind. That was a great 7-game series. That one was littered with blowouts in both directions. Maybe you're like, oh, that one was no good. Think of another 7-game series. Like, they don't always end up being 7 barn burners. Now, I'm only mentioning the modern NBA. Maybe in 1994 was different, but it feels like nowadays a great series is judged by the length more than the individual games inside it.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. I feel like that Thunder Spacer series was just much more competitive than what's this one been. I don't really get it from the OKC perspective of yesterday. I mean, you had a chance to advance. And what I think could end up being really important and a reason why I'm giving the Knicks a chance to win in the NBA Finals is if you're the Thunder, you had a chance to clinch this thing yesterday. So you would have had Friday off, Saturday off, Sunday off, Monday, Tuesday, and get rested and get ready for the NBA Finals on Wednesday. Now you got to play another high-intensity basketball game for a team that's already beat up, already been banged up this postseason, And now you just continue to allow the Knicks more and more time to prepare. I saw this. The Knicks are the first team in NBA history where every opponent that they've played in the next series will have played in a 7-game series. That's been part of the reason why the Knicks have been able to breeze through the Eastern Conference the way that they did. Their path has just been so much lighter than everybody else's. Now, they got a little bit of an injury concern right now with Mitchell Robinson. He broke his pinky. He's going to tape it up, and he's going to play in the NBA Finals. This gives OG Anunoby more time to heal up and rest up and get ready for it. Now, the Knicks are going to be underdogs regardless of who they play in the NBA Finals. But if you're the Knicks, this thing just continues to play in your favor and just continues to give you a realistic shot of being the last team standing.
I think that you're right. The big winner here is the Knicks. The Thunder, I had this feeling last year, and I have it again this year. For a team that could win, go to the NBA Finals, and could become dynastic, like it's not impossible to believe they could be a dynasty of the modern era. Have they ever felt like the most dominant team in the playoffs? Like last year in the Finals, I felt like, oh, it's going to be a walkover. The Thunder are going to flex on the Pacers. They didn't. This year, yeah, they smoked the Lakers. Okay, cool. They bump into the problem with the Spurs, but they're not dominating the Spurs. And now I think they will beat the Knicks if they get through, but they do not feel like this can't miss, oh man, watch out for the Thunder type of team. But it could be a month away from us saying they're back-to-back champs. It's a weird sensation I have with the Thunder.
Yeah, I don't want the Thunder to win. I'm tired of watching them. I want to see Victor Wembanyama advance to the next stage. I want to see Wemby make it to the NBA Finals. I'd be very, very thrilled to get the Thunder out of this thing and get them out of the NBA playoffs. Now, Rob, let's talk about one of the things that you do care a whole lot about. Have you seen more and more tickets keep getting released from the World Cup? There's still a pretty substantial number of tickets for the USA game that is there. I think we all know what this means. I think FIFA was trying to tax people, and I think the public is telling you, yeah, we want to go to the World Cup. We just don't want to go at the number and prices that you guys think that we want to go to the World Cup. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet for a game, but you do want to go to the World Cup, I would encourage you to just keep waiting, keep your eye on it, see how the market plays itself out, because around the country, not just in Kansas City, around the country, I think you are seeing some deals are going to start popping up on these World Cup tickets.
It's very obvious to anyone who pays attention to these things. FIFA shot themselves in the foot here. They felt like the average World Cup game should be, in America, charged the same way a massive event in America is. They were charging Algeria, Argentina the same price as people are going to have to go see Game 7 in Oklahoma City. Well, those things aren't the same. And I love soccer. A group play match in Kansas City between Tunisia and the Netherlands is not the same as an AFC title game. But FIFA felt like, hey, people at Arrowhead have paid $487 a ticket before. They'll do it again. And now they're realizing people will pay to come to your event. Your event will do well. You just have to price it fairly, which is what you have done in every other World Cup ever. It just showed up on American soil, and they decided, let's tax everyone. So if you are a fan listening and want to go to the World Cup, keep your eye out on those FIFA websites, because those $1,200 tickets, they might still be unattainable for you, but those $400 tickets for Tunisia, Netherlands, they might come back into an actual normal pocket of purchasing for the regular American.
Yeah, I don't think the Argentina tickets are ever going to get to a pretty reasonable price. It's the first game. It's Lionel Messi, like that. But I also think people understand that, hey, if you're going to have the defending World Cup champion and maybe the most famous athlete in the world playing in Kansas City, you ain't getting in for $50. But you're right. That Netherlands game, there's no reason why the Netherlands game costs what it costs. I want to go to that game. You want to go to the game. I looked at the tickets and said, absolutely not. I don't want to go to this game bad enough. But if the market falls and I can get some good tickets at a reasonable price, I got no problem paying to go to that Netherlands game. I want to go to that game.
And there are probably many, many games across the country that is similar to that. I don't know every single group play match, but like when the Senegal plays France, okay, maybe in New York, it's going to be a tax to go see France. But you're telling me in the group stage, you're paying a high price to go see Turkey and Australia? No, it should be normal pricing. No one's asking you to take a bath on tickets, FIFA. Just don't charge an arm and a leg for people. And now if people show up to the event, it looks better on television, all the stuff. But I never understood their purchasing plan from the jump.
Yeah, people just don't like the feeling of being gouged. And I think it is pretty obvious FIFA at almost every single turn just wanted to stick it to the American public. They wanted to stick it with public transit. They wanted to stick you with the parking at the game. They wanted to hit you over the head to actually attend one of these events. I'm sorry. We don't like you enough to think you're coming in here finessing us for all of this, and you want to do this for 4 or 5 separate games. No, thanks. I want absolutely nothing to do with it. So, again, I want to encourage you, if you are trying to go to a World Cup game, hold on, save your coins, save your shillings. You will be able to go to a game at a reasonable price. The ticket prices are dropping. You are going to be able to get into one of these games, I think, at a normal, reasonable, fair price, probably multiple. That Argentina game is big. None of those other 3 games are big, in my opinion. None of those other 3 games. Now, once we get to the single elimination, that's a different conversation. It could be Argentina against Spain. That's a game, I'm sorry, you got to spend a little bit of money for. But those other 3 games we got, those are not games that I would consider breaking the bank for. I ain't that excited about it. Coming up at the top of the hour, let's talk a little bit of Chiefs. I got some toss-ups for you guys. We'll go through them next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the car crash kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th, Overland Park Convention Center, downtown. Okay, more red. Yep, backups are building. 70 westbound closed just past Troost. We've also got the crash in Lee Summit, 50 eastbound at 3rd. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
The wild weather this spring has brought hail to New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. What that means is they've got plenty of new and used cars and trucks with light cosmetic hail damage. New Century is having a hail of a sale to clear them all out. You can save as much as $15,000 and still receive all the factory incentives. The hail of a sale will not last long at New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Remember, you always pay less in Paola. See dealer for details.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament over on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. For me in particular, I'll be honest, I kind of like going the standard where I can trade France at 17.9%, meaning a $100 investment could see $5.59 in return, or even Spain at 16.8%. On Kalshi, you're trading against your peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and the probability changes. You can buy in and out of your position as you see. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, you know what? I'm tired of talking about the stars of the Chiefs. We always spend our time talking about the stars of the Chiefs. So I've come up with a couple of toss-ups to talk about some of the other guys on the team. I'm sure we'll have a Mahomes toss-up at some point or a Travis Kelce toss-up at some point, but right now, that's not what this segment is about. So I have a toss-up question right now to ask you guys. Who do you think is more likely to help the Chiefs in 2026? Is it Jared Wiley or Jalen Royals? Rob, I'll let you answer the question first. Both of these guys have not really contributed a whole lot. Right now, Royals is getting a lot of opportunity. I would say that if Jared Wiley is healthy, he should be given an opportunity to see what he can do in the Chiefs uniform. They could certainly use both of those guys being a positive for the Chiefs this season. Who do you think is more likely to help the Chiefs this year? Is it Wiley or Royals?
Jared Wiley. Now, I don't think this is like oh man, one of them's going to have 1,000 yards and the next guy is going to have like 250. I think it's very, very similar, but I'm going to take Jared Wiley just because of opportunity. Remember when he got drafted? They were telling us he has the same body type as Kelce and he can feel space same as Kelce. Now, I'm not saying he's Travis Kelce. I don't think he ever will be Travis Kelce. But if you're telling me that's his body type, Andy Reid has had an opportunity to unlock that potential. I think he has more opportunities than Jalen Royals, who is right now 4th, maybe 5th on the receiver depth chart. And it could be bumping down if they add another receiver, which there's still a bunch available in free agency. So purely from an opportunity standpoint, I think I'm going to take Jared Wiley of the two.
All right. Who do you think is more likely to be a starter in 2027? So looking ahead.
Of those two? Or
no,
okay.
I got right. Wait, give me a second. So those two guys are in the mix, but I'll throw Issa Pole into the conversation because Wiley, you would presume Kelce's done at the end of this season. Tight end 1 is going to be available. You would assume Jalen Moore, right tackle, his contract's up at the end of the season. Issa Pole, it would make sense if he slides over to that right tackle role. Jalen Royals, Chiefs drafted him Rashee Rice will likely be gone in 2027. Tyquan Thornton, there's a chance. Let's see what happens. They sign him to a multiple-year deal, but teams get out of those deals all the time in the National Football League. So there's going to be a couple of spaces open potentially in that wide receiver room. Who do you think is more likely to turn themselves into a starter in 2027? Is it Wiley, Pole, or Royals?
Pole. I think, we've seen Pole do the most already in the NFL. So I have at least a knowledge base of what he has done thus far. And also, I think the Chiefs would be financially elated if Issa Pole became their starting right tackle either in 26 or in 27 for Jalen Moore. He just has to be suitable out there. So I've seen him play. I've seen him have an ounce of success on the football field and the highest level. I would say Pole of those three. I actually think Pole is the easy answer here because even if everything goes great for the Chiefs, we both anticipate they're going to rebuild their tight end and wide receiver room next year, and they're not rebuilding around Royals and Wiley. So I think the answer is Issa Pole.
I think you could argue from an individual player standpoint, Issa Pole being developed into being their right tackle is one of the best things that could happen for the Chiefs this season. I'm talking about an individual level, not on a team level. I'm talking about more Noah Williams. George Karlaftis takes a step forward. If we are going through the guys, and they got a lot of guys on this team that I would put in this conversation. There's maybe like 25 or 30 of these guys that I would put in this conversation of you just don't know what you have. Almost the entire defense is in that conversation. Noah Williams, Jeffrey Bassa, they got a bunch of guys that just you are going into it with a question mark over your head and uncertainty. If Issa Pole could emerge as being one of those guys, and in free agency or with the draft next year, you don't have to spend significant resources, whether it's financially with salary cap space or a high draft pick on a right tackle, and you feel good about that position, and you don't have to do anything this offseason with the offensive line, you can keep it the way that it would be from left to right, and you now put Pole there, and now you could spend that money that you're going to potentially save on Jalen Moore, and you could put that into the rest of the roster. I really struggle to find what a better case scenario for the Chiefs from a player standpoint would be than that.
I don't know there is a better one. Unless, no, because I think it would be a negative if Emmett Johnson makes a leap like that and becomes like oh man, you got to play him. I think from a development perspective, Issa Pole is exactly what you're saying. I'm sitting back here racking my brain. Who would even be number 2 on that list? Who? Maybe Jeffrey Bassa is the next name on that list, but I don't think he's the same as Pole. So yes, I think the Chiefs. It would be a good problem to have if he's pushing Jalen Moore for a starting spot in 26.
I got another toss-up for you. This is toss-up time. Who do you think has more yards from scrimmage this season? Do you think it's Emmett Johnson or Tyquan Thornton?
Tyquan Thornton. I am not buying Emmett Johnson stock the way the rest of the city seems to be buying Emmett Johnson stock. And that's not an...
I'm buying Emmett Johnson stock. I think he was the 3rd best running back in this class.
In a terrible running back draft, though. How many people do we have come on the show that says it's a bad running back draft?
A lot of people. I thought Emmett Johnson was a good college running back. Now, I gotta throw a challenge flag here. I got to go to the board. I got to review this. Emmett Johnson is the exact kind of running back prospect you like.
But he's also
a good college player that they spent a mid-round pick on that they could turn into something. I've sat here for years. Text line, back me up on this. 913-586-7965. I'm tagging the text line in. We have heard you sit here and complain for years about you shouldn't pay running backs, you shouldn't spend high draft picks, spend a mid-round pick. They spend a mid-round pick, and now you're a non-believer?
Here's why I'm a non-believer. They spent a mid-round pick after they signed 2 other guys, including...
What does that have to do with if he's good or not? That has nothing to do with if you think he's going to be good.
Because if he's great and Kenneth Walker or Ken Walker or whatever his name is watching him from the sideline healthy, that's a disastrous offseason for the Chiefs.
But why does he have to watch him healthy? Why can't they just have a good 1-2 like a lot of other teams in the league? Why couldn't the scenario be...
Then why did they sign DeMarcado?
But if you're telling me if you're telling me the negative is... DeMarcado was the odd man out of this scenario because Emmett Johnson passes him on the depth chart. Good. You got that guy on a 1-year deal. I don't care about him.
I think because, to answer your question, I think I have Thornton as higher on the depth chart and getting more yards Because I'm not buying Emmett Johnson stock because of the two guys ahead of him on the depth chart.
I'm sitting here looking at it. He signed for no money. DeMarcado signed a 1-year, $1.25 million deal. Hell, I don't care if they cut him at the end of this. If you're telling me that Emmett Johnson's training camp is so great that they feel comfortable with him being the number 2 and Brashard Smith ends up beating out DeMarcado and that's their third option, I'm not mad at that if that's the case. They gave DeMarcado no money. He got $500,000 guaranteed. You sent him on his way. So, like, the scenario you're talking about is not a negative to me. If you're telling me that Kenneth Walker is their one, I'm not saying they're a similar style of runner.
I get what you're saying,
but they use Emmett Johnson in a Zach Charbonnet number 2. Emmett Johnson gets 150 to 200 carries this year. That's not a bad case scenario for the Chiefs. So that's a great situation.
One of the reasons why I'll pick Tyquan Thornton in your toss-up is I don't know that Emmett Johnson is beating DeMarcado in the depth chart until week 7, 8, 9. And I think Tyquan Thornton is walking in with a heavy target share coming his way. And I also think there's a non-zero chance the wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 miss time this season, which would mean more opportunity for Tyquan Thornton. So this is, I understand why people are buying Emmett Johnson stock. I'm going to be hesitant to buy Emmett Johnson stock. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you're telling me Tyquan Thornton as wide receiver 3 has less total yards than Emmett Johnson, I don't think that's a sign something has gone great for the Chiefs. I think it's a sign something may have gone wrong for the Chiefs.
Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, you also had a lot of people on the show defending the new Luke Bryan song. The text line is not a great bar for ranking players. We were talking about Luke Bryan.
We did a toss-up with Luke Bryan?
I'm trying to figure that out. I was confused for a second. I don't even know who Luke Bryan is. Is he coming to Kansas City soon?
Probably. He does that fast car song. I mean, it's a cover, but he does that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's the song I know.
That song's by Tracy Chapman.
Yeah, no.
That's the one that I know.
It's a cover. It's 100% a cover.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. Knew, like, Luke Bryan got a song? I was confused there for a second. It got me all, I was all discombobulated. I was like, hold on, people were doing that on this show? I was lost for a second. The last toss-up I'm going to give you, we do need to go back and just play random covers like we did that day. That was a fun show. I enjoyed that.
Except for it made me hate all the covers.
Yeah, I would love to hear another punk rock lollipop version that we did that one
one
day.
wasn't bad.
That was a good. You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring that. Whenever the Royals get 20 games under 500, which they will get to, trust me, they're working towards it. For sure.
What are they at now? Let me make a note. This might be Monday.
They're working on it. They will be there at some point. What do you think is the higher number? Do you think the higher number is Kenneth Walker touchdowns or George Karlaftis sacks?
That's a great question. That's a really good question.
That's what I practice these.
That's great.
You know what? I got a lot of time on my walks.
Yeah.
That's what I have on my walks. A lot of time.
And what's fascinating about that is because in Seattle, they didn't use Kenneth Walker as the short yardage guy. Like, we've had multiple people come on this show and say that wasn't his role. But on this team, you would assume he has that role because who else would do it? But George Karlaftis, if George Karlaftis has a fine season, he's getting 7, 8, 9 sacks. That's a lot of touchdowns.
Okay.
I will say Walker touchdowns only because I don't think they have an alternative for a goal line package as of right now. But I do
DeMarcado.
But I do pause because Seattle didn't use him that way, so I wonder if that's in his skill set. But
I also wasn't paying him like Kansas City.
That's true.
You paying him what Kansas City pay him. You're going to be doing everything. He might be kicking the extra points.
Can he run all those goofy trick plays Andy has in the playbook for goal line? He doesn't have a goal line package. He has a, let's put the left tackle at tight end package.
What day, can you just go and write this down? You know how you keep like a running tally of what our schedule is?
Mm-hmm.
When do you think we're going to have a good conversation about who the jet sweep guy is?
Oh, this summer?
If there's one thing I know the text line loves to discuss, it's who the jet sweep guy on this team is going to be. I mean, they're going to run this play like 7 times this year. The text line always gets really excited about 4 tight end sets and who's going to run the jet sweep guy.
I think that's a July conversation. I think it's right before camp starts we identify jet sweep guy. Well, I mean,
who do you think that's going to be? Jalen Royals. Do you think Jalen Royals can be jet sweep guy?
Who do I think the text line thinks jet sweep guy is going to be, or who jet sweep guy is going to be? Because it's going to be Xavier Worthy. That's who jet sweep guy actually is.
Well, he's hurt, so I don't know. I don't know if I would keep using him as the jet sweep
Perpetually
guy.
Hurt.
The text line has corrected us. Now, I didn't know this. I counted on you knowing this. The text line has said it is not Luke Bryan that did fast cars. It's Luke Combs.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Luke Combs that did Fast
Different
Car.
country Luke.
You can't see how that's confusing.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, I don't know how that's any different than all the Lils. Like, come on now. You can't be mad at me. If you don't understand the difference between Lil Wayne and Lil Uzi, I can understand how you're like, man, it's just too many of them. I can't keep these guys apart. Luke Bryan and Luke Combs.
That's my fault. That's more my lane. I should have known that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? I don't think I do know a Luke Bryan song then.
I don't know. I have absolutely no. You can't name one Luke Bryan song?
I don't think I can.
So you know what we're going to do coming back? We're going to take a break. I'm going to pull up his most popular song on Spotify, and we're going to see if you can identify this song. Because I don't know. I don't know a single song from him. I guess the Fast Car, that's not even his song. I didn't even know. The text line teaches me these things. I've never heard of any one of these individuals. Could not recognize them. Sorry to that man. Show me a picture. I would not be like, oh, that's Luke Bryan. No clue who either one of these individuals are. We're going to do that on the other side. We had Nate Taylor on the show earlier today. We'll play the best of that coming up at about 4:45. I have one very, very small Royals thought I want to share with you guys. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day during the playoffs. We're talking special drops you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. And the best part, it's every single day. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Here's how I'm handling the daily happy hour. I open the app, see what's available, and suss out. Maybe it's a profit boost on a player point total. Maybe it's a bonus bet, and I'll take a big swing and try to make some mega money and keep that bonus bet in my back pocket. So whether you're betting the early game or gearing up for prime time, make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you today. So go to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, and we're taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new features. Join us June 4th through 7th at our exciting new location. Get up close to the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, exclusive test drives you won't want to miss. Don't miss your chance to see your future of driving all in one place. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th at Overland Park Convention Center.
As a paramedic, do you recommend seatbelts?
I'm definitely an advocate for seatbelts.
Why?
When you're in a wreck, the seatbelt immediately will lock you in place and hold you exactly where you are. And if the vehicle rolls, spins, or just sustains a lot of force, you're going to stay right where you are, protected and cushioned. That's how they're designed.
But it's my choice if I wear one. You can't make me.
It's your decision, but you're going to see me if you decide to not wear your seatbelt, and it might not be a good situation for you.
Always buckle up. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your local law enforcement community.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. You'll always pay less in Paola. Downtown, good news, 70 is reopened again. 70 westbound just past Truce, though. Everything is off to the right shoulder and you're unwinding from the earlier shutdown. 35 northbound at 435 eastbound. Right lane is blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Shake it for the birds, shake it for the bees, shake it for the catfish swimming down deep in the creek, for the crickets and the critters and the squirrels. Shake it to the moon.
I've heard this before. You want to know what? Hearing this song, it makes me, I don't know why some of you guys dislike rap music. I can tell you 10 rap songs just like this. Everybody likes a girl shaking a nice backside. This is basically Back That Thing Up by Juvenile. This is Dog by Soulja Boy. It's the same. We like the same kind of music, just to a different twang. Turn it up again. What was that song? Country Girl Shake It For Me? This is City Girl Shake It For Me. Period. It's the same. We like the same kind of music. Rob, whenever you hear this, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? I mean, beer.
Never had that. What? Yeah. What are you? Thanks.
Busch Light.
You got a Busch Light when this comes on?
This is not a space camper type of song.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I wanted to know what you had drinking. If somebody said, "Let's do a shot" when this song is on, what shot are you taking?
Fireball.
Is that your go? We could have played Kenny G. You would have said Fireball.
I mean,
I could have been like, hey, Caroline, you know what? Saving All My Love by Whitney Houston is on. Caroline said, let's dance, but let's take a shot first. You'd have said Fireball. That's just your default.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to say Vegas Bomb. I mean,
I didn't know what your answer was going to be. I didn't know.
It could be any whiskey.
You also just
worked.
don't seem like the person that would be hanging out where they're playing Country Girl Shake It For Me.
No, I'm not.
It doesn't seem like your time. Yo, did you see that line last night for Hot Country Nights?
I did.
Did you see that? Who did they have for Johnny Cash? Was he back from the dead? Who did they have performing yesterday? That line was wrapped around the building.
Have you ever been to a Hot Country Nights?
Rob, what kind of question is that?
You've been to Kenny Chesney at Arrowhead.
That was different. I got invited to a suite. I was going to go in that scenario.
You contain multitudes. That's what I'm learning.
I got invited to a suite. I was like, I guess I'll try it.
You tell me I don't go to Chiefs games. Went to 2 last year.
That's fair. Good point. I'll probably go to another one.
You're telling me I don't like being out in the cold. You were at the game on Christmas. I mean, I get puzzled by this.
I was in the suite, though. It was a little different. I was inside. It was warm. It was great. Text line, you guys, I have no clue who was down there in Power and Light, but I did see the little TikTok. I saw the line. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who was down there. I figured Johnny Cash had come back from the dead. What, they have the Dixie Chicks? Are they just Dixie now? Or are they just the Chicks? Which one? Something happened.
I know something happened. That line was down to your house.
That was crazy. Insane. I don't know what they had going on down there. I was very, very confused. Which one was that? So we're trying to.
That was Luke Bryan.
This is serious right now.
That was Luke Bryan. This one's Luke Combs.
Hold on. So stop. Hold on. Don't confuse me. Which is the one that sang "Fast Car" by Tracy Chapman?
That's Luke Combs.
So not the person you just played.
Not the person I just played.
So people like Luke Bryan on the text line. They don't like Luke Combs on the text line.
I've learned that over this process, I actually like Luke Combs more than Luke Bryan.
Okay. All right. You know what? With your running back takes, all that makes sense now. All right, so you just played Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan.
Country Girl, Shake It For Me.
Yep.
Going crazy right now at guitars.
PBR
going crazy right now. Going insane. All right, so this is Luke Combs you're about to play. All right, let me hear a Luke Combs song. Please turn this off.
A little twangier.
Please turn this off.
A little twang.
Please turn that off. That's... Whatever that was, I never want to hear that again. Please turn that off.
Not a Combs guy?
I don't want to hear that ever again. I don't want to hear Luke Combs, Sean Combs, hair Combs. I don't want to hear any of that ever again. Please don't play that on this show. It puts me in a bad mood. What you just played. What you just played puts me in an angry mood.
He might have been at Hot Country Nights last night. You don't even know.
I don't want to know. That's what he's got going on. I don't want to know. What's the name of that song?
That song is Beer Never Broke My Heart.
I just have so many country questions now. Who sings that one song? Maybe you just played it and I didn't even recognize it. Where's that one song? It's like, me and somebody kissing in the dark, round the way. You know the song I'm trying to sing?
I don't know.
Who sings that song?
I don't know. I'm not this deep.
I don't know all the lyrics, but you know the song I'm trying to communicate. I don't know who sings this song. I'm genuine. I can't move forward until we figure out. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I don't know the name of the song, though.
Okay, I didn't know. Somebody said One Too Many by Luke Combs. They had Mahomes on stage with him. Must have listened to that when he was over his mom's house. I don't know if he was listening to that with his pops. I don't know if Papa Mahomes was playing Luke Combs in the vehicle. I think Mama Mahomes was the one playing Luke Combs in the vehicle.
You think that's more his time with the Rangers than time with the Mets?
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. That's just what I'm guessing. I'm guessing whenever it was Mom's weekend, that's what they were listening to. Just what I'm going to guess.
You don't think on the drive to Shea they were bumping that?
Nah, I'm doubtful. I'm doubtful. You know what? Papa Mahomes seems like an Earth, Wind, and Fire kind of man. You know, he seems like an Al Green kind of man. A Temptations, a Highlights, Commodores kind of man to me. The text line is saying that's by the Nitty Gritty Band. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Okay, all right. See, I knew. Yeah, this song. I heard this song before. I thought that was Luke Combs.
You think they're all Luke Combs now?
It sounded like that song you had played to me. I like this song.
Maybe these people were at Hot Country Nights last night.
They might have been. They might have been. They could have been down there. I'm serious. It's very possible they were down there. I like that song. What are you drinking when that song's on? Still drinking a Busch Light?
Still Busch. Maybe a Budweiser.
Okay.
Bud Heavy.
You going Bud Heavy?
Mm-hmm.
You had a rough week if you're drinking a Bud Heavy. That might be worth judging somebody. If you're at the if you're at the bar, you're like, hey, what are you drinking? Oh, give me a Bud Heavy. Everything all right? I got to check on my man to make sure you're good if you're drinking a Bud Heavy. In 2026, you don't care about yourself.
There are definitely worse picks than Bud Heavy.
What's a worse pick? A worse popular pick?
Coors Light.
I'd rather have a Coors Light than have a Bud Heavy.
No.
You're not judging anybody for drinking a Coors Light.
Coors
They have the
regular.
cool little yellow bottle or the little gray bottle. Yeah, you're not judging people for that.
Coors regular.
Okay, that's a good point. He's got a regular Coors.
The banquet beer.
Champagne of beers. Somebody said the Royals are so bad we're talking about country songs. The Royals love country music. That's the only time I heard. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that the song they used to play by Garth Brooks, I thought that was a song they made specifically for the Royals.
Low Places?
I thought it was a Royals song. I just thought that was a song that he created for him. I didn't know it was like a regular song with like more than one verse. I remember when I heard it out and I thought they were like, oh, playing the Royals song, and then the song kept going on. I was like, oh, wow. This is had a second verse, had a chorus, had a hook, had a bridge. I didn't know all of that. I learned something today. You guys always teach me things. I learned something.
I feel like that's going to be our summer. Let's learn about things.
Fishing in the dark, man. Can you turn that song on one more time before we move on? Can I hear Fishing in the Dark again?
You just love Fishing in the Dark.
It's a great song.
Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow.
Just moving slow. This is a great song. People really go fishing in the dark.
I was going to say, I want to know the situation where it's the middle of the night and you're fishing.
People do this.
Apparently.
Okay, I was just asking. Text line 91358. Maybe that's the best time to go fishing is in the dark.
I've always thought the best time was in the morning, but I am definitely not a fisherman.
Okay, I didn't know.
No one would confuse me for an angler.
My bad, I didn't know. Somebody said, see, your country music hate is too much. I don't hate country music. If you like it, that's great. It's just not really something I listen to. This is the most country music I've listened to all year. Just right now in this segment, right today, right in this moment together. I think I got my fill of it. All of it. I don't think I need any more for the rest of the year. I'm good for the rest of the season.
We got to get you to a hot country night.
I won't hear country music until the start of college game day is the next time I will hear a song.
Yeah, that's probably right.
That's the next time I'll hear a country music song. This is the next time.
You know, they get a World Cup tailgate, you'll get a little country music going.
You think they're playing country music at the World Cup? You think they're playing at the World Cup? If there's a place I would be stunned to hear country music, it is walking into the game with Tanzania playing. Be stunned if they were listening to country music. Would be blown away if that's the kind of music they were listening to. All right, can I ask you one Royals question? I'd rather talk about country music than talk about the Royals, but I do have one Royals question. I don't really get a sense that they're mad. Do you get a sense that they're mad?
I don't get a sense they're mad. I actually, in that same vein, are you surprised no one got fired yesterday?
No, that's the least surprising part of all of it. That's part of being mad. Part of being mad is you just walk in and you just start breaking stuff and you just start pointing at people and saying you're fired. I didn't think the Royals were going to do that. I'm not saying the Royals don't care. Obviously, they care. I'm asking, do you think the Royals are mad about the way that this season has gone? Are they angry? Are they upset? Because I don't really get a tone from anybody that that's the case. From the top down, I don't get a tone from their owner that they're mad. I don't get a tone from their general manager. I don't get a tone from Matt Catraro. I don't get a tone from any of the players. I don't get a sense from anybody that they're angry about what is going on. Which, say how you want. And I know we sometimes compare it. If the Chiefs were looking how the Royals look right now, you would see people who are mad. Travis would be mad. Patrick would be mad. People, they'd be angry. They'd be yelling at each other. Now, maybe there's more effective ways of communicating with each other. No question about it. But if the last year when the Chiefs were like this, people were upset, visibly upset about it. I don't really get that tone from watching the Royals that they're angry about what's going on. It feels kind of, you know what, we'll figure it out, which, okay. I guess we'll see if you guys will figure it out.
I don't need Q or JJ but like, I know it was probably fabricated for movies, but like that scene in Moneyball where Jeremy Giambi is dancing after a loss, and Brad Pitt walks in, hucks the bat at the stereo, and says, that's the sound of losing. And then, again, it's a movie. The next day, he trades Jeremy Giambi. Where's even that? I mean, outside of Bailey Falter, I don't even know the man's name. outside of him, has anyone had to wear it for their losing, or has it just been, hey, status quo, we're all frustrated, but we're all frustrated together? You don't look frustrated. You don't look angry. I mean, they haven't even done like a random, hey, DFA of relievers to show us you care. We haven't seen that out of the Royals.
Yeah, I was curious to get you guys' thoughts. 913-586-7965 if you thought the Royals were mad. What emotion do you think they have projected to the fans?
Disappointment. Okay. I think they don't seem to have a solution for the disappointment, but there definitely is an outward, we feel like we've failed, but they can't wash the stench of losing off them, and they keep getting worse.
This is where I would like the owner to be a more visible owner. I'm not saying that he is not involved with the team. He clearly is involved with the team. But a lot of times, it would be great if the owner of the team more than 3 times a year popped up. He pops up and does a couple of interviews with Vern a year. He'll do a couple of sit down with the media, and that's about it. It would be great right now if the head of the team, the person in charge, it would be great if he came out and said something.
I don't disagree, but let me ask you this.
Or just release the statement.
I agree with all that. But let me ask you, last year things were bad for the Chiefs. Did Clark Hunt talk? The only time Clark Hunt talked during the season last year when they went 6-11 and were terrible was when he was at Topeka doing a celebration of the new stadium. It wasn't like at 6-10 when Mahomes on the injured list, Clark Hunt was holding pressers. So, like, I agree with you, but if we're going to hold John Sherman to that standard, and I agree, he should be talking, maybe his plan is Clark Hunt didn't talk, I don't have to talk.
Yeah, but I would say if you are John Sherman and you are planning on operating the way that Clark Hunt has been operating, you have not done nearly the amount of winning that Clark Hunt is. Now, yes, there's no question the Chiefs were bad last year, but I also don't really know what you would have wanted the owner to come out and do in week 7 or week 8 and say. They were never firing their head coach. They were never firing their general manager. They weren't making a change at quarterback. So a lot of the infrastructure in place with the Chiefs, they just weren't really going to do anything about. That's not what people want with the Royals. People with the Royals do want changes. People do want the general manager potentially to be fired. People do want the manager to be gone. People do want a different philosophy when it comes to the way that the lineup is put together. People do want the Royals to make a significant move to put them over the hump. People want more widespread change with the Royals than they were with the Chiefs. So I understand how in week 8, the Chiefs were not having some big press conference, hey, this is unacceptable, especially after coming after 3 straight years of going to the Super Bowl. This was a team in which, hey, they were supposed to be good this year. Everything was in line for them to be good this year, and they've completely laid an egg, 100% laid an egg, and you haven't seen or heard from the owner really since. This is when, if you are the CEO of a company and your company's not doing good, man, a nice heartfelt letter from the CEO could calm some of your concerns. If your fans are your shareholders in this analogy, what has the company done to make the shareholders feel like the company is heading in the right direction or really cares about getting back on track to getting back to creating some earnings? Because I would just say right now, they just have kind of sat there.
We agree, but let me play devil's advocate here just for the sake of the conversation. Let's say John Sherman tomorrow called up Sam Mellinger and said, I'm going to release a statement. What does that statement have to say to appease fans? Because I don't think let's say tomorrow John Sherman puts out a statement. He's not firing JJ tomorrow. He's not firing Q tomorrow. I think John Sherman firing the hitting coach is well below his pay grade. Like, what if he did the statement you're asking for? What does it say that actually calms fans? Because outside of a statement that says everyone's fired, what does he say in the graphic statement that makes people go, oh, okay, now we're more calm? I don't know he can say anything to win the fans back over right now.
This season has been disappointment, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we get back on track and get back to the expectations that we hold ourselves to. You don't got to fire anybody. Relay strength right now. I also hate when we do this. C-Dot, yes, we don't need Sherman out there blabbling like Jerry Jones. There is a middle from Jerry Jones, who is by far and away the most visible owner. He's also the general manager of the team, where Jerry is probably too involved in the team. And where the Royals currently are right now, where Nothing. We agreed. I mean, we had Josh Verner, who is the Royals insider, say that this is the most disappointing season that the Royals have had in his time. He's been the pre and post game host now for over a decade. We don't hear from the management at all in all of this. That just seems to be that's something I would change if I'm them. CDOT, you guys are all brave to sit here and call them out, but scared to get them on the line and talk about these things. You're quick to get the mayor on the phone, but do you not have the Royals management phone numbers? Mayor Q wants to come on the show. I can't make John Sherman want to come on the show. I'd love to have John Sherman on the show.
He's more than invited.
He's always welcome on the show. Rob talked to him in person. I can't make these guys want to do interviews.
He can come in studio. He can call in. We were more than happy to have him. We can't.
Thrilled all the time. I'm thrilled. I'd be fired up to have him on the show. There's a lot to talk about with John Sherman. He don't really seem too interested in doing interviews, not just with me. He doesn't do interviews really with anybody. You will not hear from John Sherman until the All-Star break.
Yep, that's right. That's about time.
You're not hearing from him until the All-Star break.
And he'll do a one-on-one, or he's done one-on-ones in the past with Vern.
2 months from now.
Yep.
That's 2 months from now.
Unless the stadium they break ground, but that's not about the team.
They're not breaking ground in the next 6 weeks on that thing. Not at all. I ain't close to being able to break ground.
I agree.
Not even close to be able to do it. So, yeah, I'd love to have the manager on the show. And the GM goes on the midday show. I'm not poaching their guest. That's their guy.
Can you imagine if they have him on bi-weekly and we're like, by the way, we're having him now. Tough break.
It would be a lot of problems here in the station if JJ came on the show. It'd be a lot of problems. I'm sorry. I'm not really have work strife. I don't got no issues with them. Yeah, it'd be a big deal if JJ came on with us. Hey, you guys haven't been asking the right questions. Let me ask him the questions. You guys are slacking off. But yeah, no, I would love to have.
That's the same thing with Q, too. Q goes on the Fesco every week. Can you imagine if 1 week we came in at 9? We're going to record with him because you guys suck. That'd be a problem.
I'm telling you, that's not how it goes around here. All right, coming up on the other side, Rob, let's play a little bit of Nate Taylor for the people in case you missed it. Nate Taylor was on the show. Keep right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes and get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th, Overland Park Convention Center. We've got a crash that is Olathe, 35 northbound just before Santa Fe. Left lane is blocked. I'm starting to see a lot of red, big backups there. And then a crash other side of things, 435 northbound on the ramp to 70 eastbound, right lane blocked. I'm with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we'll reset things coming up at the top of the hour, but Nate was on the show earlier. I know that not all of you got a chance to hear it, and you know what? I want you to hear it. So I had Rob make a little cut. We could play the best of Nate Taylor. We'll reset things at the top of the hour. It'll be great. Our conversation today with Nate started with this. Is OTAs more about Mahomes being there or Rashee Rice not being there? Here's how he answered it.
It's really about Rashee Rice not being there because Patrick Mahomes is there. Like, I think there's something really fascinating about a guy doing, and I reported this yesterday about, Patrick doing everything he possibly can to get that, 3 days yesterday, I guess Tuesday through Thursday, to be with his teammates, to be back throwing a football, to be going through some form of normalcy in his calendar, even though we know he's coming back from, the most significant injury of his career. And then some people caught what I was doing. It was partly because, it's Twitter. There's a character count. But yeah, I have to write yesterday that, Rashee Rice, quote, or comma, who is in jail, and who's also, trying to come back from, a more minor procedure with the knee scope. But, he's still their number one receiver, and it's a massive thing that both Patrick and Xavier Worthy had procedures and have done everything to be available so that they can be on the field together. And Rashee Rice is, as we all know, still in jail.
Has anybody told you why Rashee waited so long to get his surgery? Why this surgery didn't happen earlier in the season? Because, he didn't play the final 3 games of the season. He didn't get his surgery until May?
The answer, Carrington's no. No one has been able to tell me why he did this, basically early May. For people who are trying to understand, Well, yeah, he finishes his season, unfortunately, with a concussion. They sat him out of the last, 2 to 3 games. Obviously, we know they didn't make the playoffs, so you could have had most of January and all of February to have this taken care of. Now, I don't know, and again, these are questions to ask Rasheed, because, again, I haven't heard definitively why you would wait versus doing it later. One thought is that, okay, you thought the discomfort or the issue was going to take care of itself over the long term, and maybe in training you just realize I got to get this taken care of, and that may have been in February, March, and then you have to decide, okay, which doctor do I want to go to? Do I want to do the same one who did the knee, back in 2023, 2024? Do I want to, get a second opinion? Okay, when do I want to schedule this out? I got family, I got kids, the whole thing. I'm trying to give Rasheed the benefit of the doubt as to why you would wait until May. The also thought is well, whenever you have this done, yeah, you're gonna have to take 2 to 3 months to have a rehab, to have a recovery. As we all know, he still has these 30 days in jail that he was going to serve, essentially within a year of him agreeing to the 5-year probation, as part of his punishment for him being involved in that multi-car crash in 2024. So, the timing is really bungled, just on the face of it. I don't know exactly the particulars. Again, that's something to ask Rasheed when we do get to talk to him. That will probably be, I guess, in training camp whenever he attempts to make his return to the practice field. But no one's been able to explain to me, Carrington, definitively why you would wait, knowing you still had 30 days to likely serve based on the judge's requirement of your 5-year probation. And also, if you really were experiencing more pain than usual in your, training in March or February, why would you wait until May? It's man, I don't feel like I'm helping you, but this is me talking out loud based on the information that at least we do have and the timeline that all of this has occurred since the offseason really began in February.
Do we have any reason to believe that Rasheed Rice could be suspended for the early portion of the season? The Chiefs didn't seem to give that indication, but, they're not really going to show their hands too much. Do you have any reason to believe that Rasheed Rice could be suspended for week 1 of the NFL season?
Okay, let's really go big picture, and then I'm going to do this from a very technical standpoint. Big picture, the Chiefs are look, he was going to do these 30 days. It's unfortunate that he tested positive for marijuana in Dallas, Texas, and the judge is like, "What are you doing? You know what? Actually, just do the 30 days now." Hey, he hasn't done anything beyond that. He was going to serve these 30 days regardless. So, we as an organization are asking you, the NFL, to be lenient and to understand that, he was going to be in jail at some point, right? Now, you already suspended him 6 games for his punishment of, violating the personal conduct policy, which is essentially putting anybody in danger when you are either not at work or just, trying to be an upholding citizen, while also being a employee of the National Football League. Now, technically, if the league wanted to be real technical about it, Carrington, they could say, hey, you violated a portion of your probation. You, didn't get through your probation without any unblemished marks. You don't have a clean sheet. This is not going to be taken off your record. Now, I guess that's still technically possible, but again, as of right now, you have not fulfilled all the things that you agreed to when you said, hey, I'm going to agree to this, plea, and I'm going to do these 5 years, and I'm going to do everything I want to do. So again, because you're already a first-time offender and you didn't necessarily, again, from a technical standpoint, you don't have a clean record after this, we could technically deem you again as a repeat offender of the personal conduct policy. Now, again, you didn't put anybody else in danger. You just had a simple mistake as part of your plea agreement. But, hey, if we wanted to, we could make an example out of you because we've already done that. I don't think the league really cares right now, Carrington, to suspend him. But if they wanted to, I guess they have some technical ground, and that would be a real good argument between the league and the Players Association as to, like, how do you interpret the personal conduct policy, even though we all know he's got a reputation and he's already been suspended once, so he's already on, like, kind of high alert. For this to happen the very next offseason, that would be a great, like, sort of lawyer, how do we interpret these things, who's right, who's wrong from a technicality standpoint. But, you know, Roger Goodell has a lot of power. And if Roger Goodell and Troy Vincent feel like, hey, maybe he isn't quite understanding us, they can say, hey, you violated the personal conduct policy again, but I'm not sure the league is in the interest right now to go through that sort of, I won't say headache, but just to go through that sort of complex, long, ongoing back and forth about, like, who's right, who's wrong when it comes to, like, the technical part of did he violate, you know, his rules and our policy again, and that's why he's in jail when all he had to do was just, you know, follow everything that was in order of his probationary status. He wouldn't have been in jail, or he would have had maybe a continuation. Maybe the judge would have been a little bit lenient on him and said, hey, if you cleared through this for the first year, maybe you don't have to serve these 30 days. Now, again, a lot of information. I know that's a little long-winded, but I think the headline is that the Chiefs are hoping the league is lenient, and I'm not sure the league is wanting to do anything right now unless he comes out of jail and then something else happens.
All right, I will give you guys my thoughts on whether or not Rashee Rice should be suspended coming up at the top of the hour. I actually think you guys will be surprised. I'm actually on Rashee Rice's side of this argument. Rob, I know we don't have a whole lot of time here, thanks to Nate Taylor, who was on the show earlier today. You know the Savannah Bananas are in town this week, so they're switching up some of the menu items. Rob, they have a banana corn dog they are offering. So it is a banana cooked like a corn dog, and they put a little strawberry and whipped cream and drizzled a little chocolate on it. Is this something you would try?
Yes.
I'm very intrigued
100%.
about the banana corn dog. Why has nobody had this idea before? You telling me we've been frying Oreos, we've been frying Kool-Aid. Nobody has thought this entire time. What if we made a banana like a corn dog? This sounds like something you should be a part of.
As you were saying it kept getting better and better sounding.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We got to try this. I want to go to the Savannah Bananas just to try one of these corn dogs. We don't got this at the state fair.
How is that a regular menu item at the K? They have everything else.
I don't know. We need to keep it. Who do we need to talk to? The banana corn dog. If you're going out to the stadium this week, you can get that at section 239. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we will talk a little bit of OTAs. I don't think the NFL should suspend Rashee Rice. I'll tell you why. Keep it right here, Sir Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th, Overland Park Convention Center. We've got a crash that is Olathe, 35 northbound just before Santa Fe. Left lane is blocked. I'm starting to see a lot of red, big backups there. And then a crash other side of things, 435 northbound on the ramp to 70 eastbound, right lane blocked. I'm with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is one of my favorite times of the sports calendar, and FanDuel is celebrating it right. FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day of the NBA playoffs. We're talking special drops that you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. The best part of this is it's every single day. All you need to do is head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. I absolutely love the NBA playoffs. I'm talking of every day, every night. Incredible basketball played at the highest level by the biggest stars in the game. So it doesn't matter if it's a buzzer beater or it's a series sweep. They got you covered over on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app. So whether you're betting the early game or you're getting ready for the prime time, make sure that you open up the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you today. Go to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Replacing your HVAC doesn't have to be an emergency. Plan now, pay less later. For a limited time, take advantage of an HVAC replacement with financing starting as low as $149 a month. More options, better timing, and less stress for your home.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
Tonight, expect showers and thunderstorms with a low of 65.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The wild weather this spring has brought hail to New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. What that means is they've got plenty of new and used cars and trucks with light cosmetic hail damage. New Century is having a hail of a sale to clear them all out. You can save as much as $15,000 and still receive all the factory incentives. The hail of a sale will not last long at New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Remember, you always pay less in Paola. See dealer for details.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. In Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We have a lot of things to get into in the final hour of the show this week. Donovan Mitchell, who is the star player for the Cleveland Cavaliers, so their team just got swept out of the NBA playoffs. And he said, I may never win a ring, but I've won at life. You got to trade him. I'm serious, Rob. I'm not joking. Can you imagine your superstar player after your team just gets immediately dusted out of the postseason and he stands in front of a camera and says, we might not win a championship, but I've won in life? That guy can't be our leader. We're not going anywhere if that's the case. Please get him out of here. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard a superstar say. We have to talk about this situation in Galveston. These people riding a roller coaster. Their roller coaster got stuck. They were on it for 6 hours. You guys try to tell me, oh, roller coasters are fun. You need to get on a roller coaster. No thanks. I have absolutely no interest in doing any of that. But let's talk about more pressing things. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to replay this very small cut in case you missed it. We had Nate Taylor on the show earlier. I asked him if he thought there was any chance that Rashee Rice could be suspended for his most recent probation violation. Here's what he said.
But, you know, Roger Goodell has a lot of power. And if Roger Goodell and Troy Vincent feel like, hey, maybe he isn't quite understanding us, they can say, hey, you violated the personal conduct policy again, but I'm not sure the league is in the interest right now to go through that sort of, I won't say headache, but just to go through that sort of complex, long, ongoing back and forth about like who's right, who's wrong when it comes to like the technical part of did he violate, his rules and our policy again. And that's why he's in jail when all he had to do was just, follow everything that was in order of his probationary status. He wouldn't have been in jail, or he would have had maybe a continuation. Maybe the judge would have been a little bit lenient on him and said, hey, if you cleared through this for the first year, maybe you don't have to serve these 30 days. Now, again, a lot of information. I know that's a little long-winded, but I think the headline is that the Chiefs are hoping the league is lenient, and I'm not sure the league is wanting to do anything right now unless he comes out of jail and then something else happens.
I think this is the right way to handle the Rashee Rice incident. This is why. This is not a new sentence. This is the 30 days that he had 5 years to serve, but the violation of probation automatically triggered. You don't get the flexibility anymore. You need to come in right now. You had 5 years to complete these 30 days. They are making you stop whatever you had planned. You might have had a trip planned. You were going to go to OTAs, minicamp. The legal system does not care about that. You violated your probation. You need to be here with us. He has now served his time. I don't know if the NFL can suspend you for the incident, which certainly within their right to do so. That was the correct decision. You then serve your suspension and then give you additional time for basically the same action when the legal system didn't throw anything on top of it. At least not that we know. Maybe they have and the information just hasn't come out, but it's not like the judge said, man, you violated this. We're now giving you 120 days. And maybe this is an unfair thing to say. I understand that marijuana is illegal in Texas and follow the law, and I get all of that. I don't know if the league now wants to be in the ground of now finding loopholes to suspend you for marijuana when it is in their rules now. They can't suspend you for marijuana. They used to be able to do that. They cannot do that anymore. They don't test you anymore. I don't know if they can now use that as a roundabout way to now suspend you for a couple of games because you tested positive for marijuana. So I think for the most part, I think Rashee Rice is in the clear. And I agree with Nate. If this is it, you violated your probation, this is the last incident you have, you served your time, it's behind you. I don't know if the NFL can do anything. I don't think the NFL should do anything. I don't think it's the NFL's job now in these individual instances to maybe be more lenient than what the law is. The law is handling Rashee Rice. I don't think his employer should now tack on anything extra than what they've already done and he's already served.
Me and you see it eye to eye. I don't know that you can retroactively say, hey, you already been punished for this by us, the league, and we're going to punish you again. Now, if new information comes out, maybe, but I don't think you can retroactively continue to punish over and over again for the same problem.
And I think we agree, if he does something new that falls under a new guideline, you can certainly get in trouble for that. I don't care what it is with Rashee Rice. I don't care if Rashee Rice gets a speeding ticket. If you continue to violate the law outside of what you've already been in trouble for, you can't say, oh, that was too harsh because they've given you enough time. I don't think they can do anything based off this, based off what has happened. Let me ask you this related to Rashee Rice. We don't got to play the Nate Taylor cut. Do you think there's a chance this can be a positive? In the same way, when we talk about when the injury happens and nobody wants a guy to get injured, but now you let the freshmen get a little bit more experience. You let the young guys get a little bit more experience, get a little bit more reps with the ones, and how ultimately that could end up being a positive for you. If they're now going to take the effort that they were going to pour into Rashee Rice and now pour into Jalen Royals and give him more opportunities with the ones, and now it's next man up, I think ultimately that could end up being a positive. The Chiefs are going to need Jalen Royals at some point this season. I don't know when it's going to be, but I've seen Rashee Rice's career. I don't know if you can count on him playing 17 games this season. If you're looking at Xavier Worthy right now, he's wearing the non-contact jersey like Mahomes is. So he's not even ready to be tackled yet, which is perfectly fine. It's May. You got Tyquan Thornton. I think we can agree that the Chiefs are not having their 1, 2, and 3 receiver playing 17 games this season. Somebody gets hurt, it's football. You know who's in line to step up and get those reps and be used in that way? It's Jalen Royals. So obviously you don't want Rashee Rice in jail. You don't want him missing OTAs. He should be there. He should be preparing for the season. But if you've been using this time to get Jalen Royals up to speed, he's getting a little bit more one-on-one attention with Chad O'Shea. Now you got EB looking at him a little bit more closely maybe than he usually would. I think in the end that could end up being a positive for the team more so than can be a negative for the team. Everybody is not there right now. Kelsey's not there right now, obviously for a very different reason. And this is optional. You do not have to be here for OTAs. I think Jalen Royals being there is a good thing for the Chiefs.
I understand your logic. I would say this, though, about why I don't think it's a good thing. Rashee Rice just isn't in jail regular. He's in jail following a knee surgery. If nothing else, I would prefer for Rashee Rice to be there because I would prefer him rehabbing with the Chiefs. I would prefer him getting on the field work and stretching and all those things with the team. I don't know the quality or lack thereof of his rehab process in jail. So I get what you're saying. It could be a benefit because Jalen Royals, more reps, blah, blah, blah. But if your wide receiver one's health and rehab are in flux because of his own violation of the rules, it's hard for me to see that as a net positive. If he were healthy and in jail, I could at least squint my eyes and see what you're saying. But with him being unhealthy in jail, I don't know it's a net positive for the Chiefs.
So on the text line says, "Seat, I don't understand your logic when Rashee Rice got suspended from walking away for a car crash." I mean, I guess you could say that. I would say he got suspended for pleading guilty to 8 felonies is why he got suspended. That's why he got the 30 days in jail. That's why he got the 5 years probation is for that. And then the league then suspended him for a violation of the personal conduct policy because he pled guilty to 8 felonies. So my point is very simple. He's already been penalized by the National Football League. He's already been suspended for this incident. He was always going to do the 30 days. It was either going to be, are you going to do the 30 days on your own volition, or are you going to do it basically how he did it? To my understanding, and if I'm wrong, I certainly love to see it. I do not have any information that would lead us to believe that the court system is throwing something new at Rashee Rice for this violation. This is just an automatic trigger of the penalty you are already going to have to serve. So if that's the case, then I don't think the league can suspend you for 2 games for that. I don't think it's right to suspend him 2 games for that if that's all that it is that now it's a mandatory 30 days that he already had to do.
I agree. And a lot of people on the text line are saying it's a new crime. It's the 30 days he always had to do, he's now doing now. So if I'm Rashee Rice agent lawyer, I'm saying you can't punish me. This is a pre-existing punishment that I'm just, because of a mistake, serving now. So I don't view it as a new crime the way the text line does.
Yeah, and I'm seeing the argument. Breaking probation is a new and separate instance. I know there's like degrees of breaking probation. Him smoking marijuana and testing positive for it is just very, very low to me on the scale of what he did to break probation. That in a sport in which they have said they are not going to test you for smoking marijuana, so you can smoke weed and continue to play in the National Football League and not miss a game for it. I don't know now if they can suspend you. Well, it's okay if you smoke weed, but it was a term of your probation, so now we're going to suspend you because you tested. It just seems like it's more trouble than what it's worth here for Rashee Rice. So I personally would be surprised if they suspended him for this incident. This is the same league that cleared him when his baby mama said that he was beating on her and had a 25-post Instagram about it and said, we checked him and we cleared him. Now they're going to suspend that guy because he was smoking weed? I personally find it hard to believe. Now, if you keep violating your probation, that might be a different conversation for a different day. But the one instance of doing it, I do not think that's going to be the case. All right, Rob, let's hit number 1, and we'll play what Jeff Passan had to say about the CBA.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home. and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
All right, let's play this audio for you guys. This is from Jeff Passan. So I think this is actually the top story in baseball. The players have made their proposal. The owners have made their proposal. Very simple. The players do not want a salary cap. The owners do want a salary cap. Kind of hard to find a middle ground on those two things. Here's what Jeff Passan has to say.
The sides could not be any farther apart, not just in terms of what they are proposing, but in terms of just the straight philosophy of how they think baseball should be run. Major League Baseball's economic system has been the same since the MLBPA started back in the late 1960s. MLB is proposing a wholesale change to that. And the last time MLB proposed a salary cap, Jay, was 1994. And the World Series wound up getting canceled that year because of a player strike. This time, the expectation, if they can't come to an agreement by December 1st, is that the league will lock out the players. And just how protracted this becomes is a question we won't know for months, but will be on the minds of everyone who's a baseball fan.
So that is Jeff Passan of ESPN. He was on SportsCenter talking about the two sides. All right, Rob, let's break this down a little bit. Again, I do think this is the top story in baseball right now. I think it's one of the biggest stories right now in sports, outside of what's happening in the NBA. I think usually the public is on the owner side and on the employer side of this, which sometimes make you want to pull your hair out whenever we have these conversations. But I think what is going to make this CBA conversation a little bit different than other ones that we've had when they have come up is I think the owners are in line with what fans want their sport to look like and be. I think if you polled the average baseball fan and said, do you want a salary cap in baseball? I think it is overwhelming yes from the fans. I think that fans also want a salary floor. Now, we don't discuss the floor as much as we discuss the ceiling, but I think most baseball fans would agree that the Miami Marlins should not be able to spend $80 million on their team. Or the Tampa Bay Rays should not be allowed to only spend $85 million on their team. One of the reasons why in the NFL we never talk about the salary floor is because the floor is so high and the cap is there. It is a major disadvantage to not use your cap space. Like whenever you got open cap space, it's not like we're like, oh man, now you can just save and pocket that money. No, the system forces you to reinvest that in your team and keep churning it. That's how the contracts keep getting bigger as the salary cap continues to grow. If baseball owners are arguing that their league should be more like the NFL, more like the NBA, more like other American leagues that all have a salary cap in some form, I think it's going to be really, really hard for the owners to win the conversation of public sentiment. And I think the players are going to be fighting an uphill battle basically this entire time. It's hard to be on their side of the argument. And I say this as somebody who was usually on the player side, usually on the employee, on the worker side. It's going to be really hard to be on their side for this conversation when ultimately what the owners are proposing is in the best interest of the sport. What the owners are proposing is in the best interest of competitiveness, even if they are doing it for a selfish reason, even if they are doing it for their own gain. Trust me, they are not doing this because it's good for the players. No, they're doing this because it's good for them in order to do it. But ultimately, that ends up being in the best interest of us. If you can rubber band the sport a little bit and elevate the floor of it and the bad teams, and you bring down the ceiling of the good teams, and you make it where a team like the Dodgers, a team like the Yankees cannot hoard all of the talent, sure, they'll get some of the talent. I mean, the NBA has a salary cap. Good players keep going to the same teams. Yeah, there's still preferences. People still want to live in certain cities than other cities. Certain cities still offer advantages that other cities don't have to offer. But right now, their current financial system doesn't give you a chance at some free agents. It doesn't give you the opportunity. So if the players are thinking about playing this out in the media and banging on that, I think they are going to be very, very disappointed that they are not going to have a lot of people following them in this conversation. I'm not really on their side. If the owners are willing to raise the floor significantly, and the player and the owners, I would also say, are willing to raise the ceiling a little bit higher than what they propose, I think in the end, that's a fair compromise for both sides. And baseball players at the top, they've been getting over for a long time. And they'll continue to get paid. Juan Soto will keep getting paid. Shohei will keep getting paid. But Juan Soto signs a $750 million deal. I don't know if that's good for all the other teams in baseball. It's just really good for one player. You know what? We're going to do something a little bit different for the hits today. Why don't we head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Nick Springer? He is with the Pay Heed podcast. He was at the KU game earlier today as they won against Northeastern. They are now advancing in the NCAA tournament in this, and they will play tomorrow at 5 o'clock against either Missouri State or Arkansas. Nick, how you doing, man?
Thanks, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Phenomenal, man. How was the atmosphere? How was the game?
Yeah, it was fantastic. There's been obviously some weather concerns, I think, heading into the weekend, and it was raining quite a bit heavily in Lawrence around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And then the skies opened up, luckily, right in time for the first pitch. It was pretty remarkable, actually. The sun started shining basically right at 12 o'clock when the game got underway. And Kansas, they used the long ball early, hit 3 home runs in the first 3 innings and took the lead there. But Northeastern really hung around with them, man. I mean, this was a 4-3 game heading into the bottom of the 8th. It was a 4-3 game. Kansas got a couple insurance runs in the 8th. Brady Ballinger, who had been out with an injury, came in and gave him a clutch hit in the 8th inning too. And so, yeah, it was a blast. And Kansas fans did their part too. They showed out big time. It was really an incredible atmosphere. You got the backyard out in left field, which is something that was kind of thrown together by Kansas to increase the capacity. And by all accounts, it looked like it was pretty fun, And if you wanted to get a souvenir, that was the best place to be because KU had all 3 of their home runs straight to left field in the backyard. So, really impressive atmosphere. It was a lot of fun at the ballpark today, and obviously Kansas got the win, and they'll be waiting to see if they're going to play Arkansas or Missouri State. Missouri State is actually up on Arkansas right now, so that's one to watch for tomorrow. But, yeah, obviously the weather will be something to keep an eye on too because it seems like there's chances for more rain throughout the weekend, so hopefully it doesn't impact things too much. But despite that, I was really impressed with what Kansas fans did and showing out and supporting. Obviously, this is Kansas hosting a regional in Lawrence for the first time ever in program history. It never happened before for KU. So obviously a momentous weekend and obviously a great opportunity for Kansas to capitalize that from an exposure perspective for the baseball program and for just KU in general. And the players on the field did their part too with the win today.
Yeah, from what I saw, it really seemed to be a good mix of everything. Like I saw a lot of, KU elites there. Bill Self was there. Devin Neal came back. I'm sure there was some other prominent KU people were there. But, I saw the outfield, the backyard. It was packed. It really feels like the city, it really feels like Jayhawk fans are really rallying around this team for this, at least right now, a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And the big part of it has been the students, right? I think the students, you got to talk about that because they've really started, even going back to last year, started really creating this sort of raucous student section environment, even, for regular season games. And that kind of got noticed, I think, on a more national level too, as well. And so they've been a big part of sort of building what this program has been these past couple of years. And obviously Dan Fitzgerald's he's part of it as well, right? He's such a humble head coach and he does such a phenomenal job. And he obviously has elevated this program to where they are now. So, yeah, I think you're right. It's been really a combination of a wide variety of things, right? Obviously, I think the support from the administration, we think about Travis Goff and KU's support there, plus having a great head coach in Dan Fitzgerald who is really committed to KU. He's an excellent recruiter. They've had the #1 JUCO recruiting class for, I think, 3 straight years now. So they've done an excellent job of finding talent in different ways in this era of college athletics really across the board. And those guys that have come up and delivered. And then again, with the fan support, like you said, there were big names coming out to show their support as well. But obviously, student section was great too. And school is out right now, so for students to still show up, students were showing up at 6 a.m. this morning to try to get some tickets to the game. I can tell you from personal experience, I was just looking at the website as the tickets went live back on Wednesday morning. They went live at 10 a.m. and were sold out within minutes. You couldn't get a ticket within minutes of that happening. So Yeah, it's really been a culmination of a lot of things, I think. But again, most importantly is they have a really good team. I mean, they've got really great players. Tyson LeBlanc sets the single-season home run record today, actually, with 22 home runs. He hit with his 22nd home run he hit earlier today. Dom Bagley set the single-season strikeout record today as well. With I think it was 113 was the record. He broke that today. Had 9 strikeouts. So they've got great players too, which helps a lot as well. And certainly looking forward to seeing if they can advance a little bit more. And excited for tomorrow and see what they can do the rest of this weekend.
I'll get you out of here with this last thing. I don't know a whole lot about college baseball, but I do know that Arkansas is usually pretty good at it. It seems like a tremendous advantage.
Yeah.
If most state can win today and Kansas either only has to beat Arkansas one time with an opportunity to go to the regionals, that just feels like a tremendous advantage for the Jayhawks to get out of this round and then give themselves a shot to go to the College World Series.
Yeah, by RPI rating, if you look at all 16 regionals for the NCAA tournament, Kansas had the toughest, and it really wasn't particularly close. And a big part of that is because of Arkansas, who historically is a very dominant program. Obviously, Kansas was in the Fayetteville regional in Arkansas last year. Didn't end up playing them because KU lost both games they played. But, yeah, you're right. It would be a big opportunity. Something else to note is that Missouri State and Arkansas played twice this season, and they split. So it's not like Missouri State is incapable of knocking off Arkansas. Missouri State, to their own credit, is a really good team as well. It's kind of the age-old adage. Even when you think about like the NCAA tournament in basketball, when you get to this level, sure, there are teams from smaller conferences, but every team is good, right? I mean, it's the NCAA tournament. So regardless of who KU faces on Saturday, and if they're able to advance into an opportunity to advance the Super Regional, it's going to be a tough matchup. But yeah, I think the biggest thing when you talk about Arkansas is obviously the fans, right? Arkansas, they're going to have a lot of fans. They're going to bring a lot of support. And so that would be the big thing is if KU isn't playing Arkansas, they'll have still that major support in the crowd from KU fans, you think. But otherwise, Arkansas fans are going to show their support as well. And, it is funny, Carrington. I was trying to think about this. I mean, how often do you have two different programs competing against each other in a postseason format across multiple years consecutively and across multiple sports? I mean, going back to 2022, KU plays Arkansas in Liberty Bowl in football. KU has put Arkansas twice in the NCAA tournament in the past 3 years, in 2023 and then in 2025. And then also they met in the WNIT in 2024, I believe, as well, in women's basketball, now potentially meeting here in EK baseball. So, I don't know. That's just an interesting tidbit that how often do two programs have the opportunity to face each other so many times in a postseason setting? But, yeah, either way, I think it'll be a lot of fun for KU fans. Today was a blast for a lot of them, and so hopefully that continues the rest of the weekend.
That is Nick Springer joining us on the show. He's with the Pay Heed podcast. Kansas, they are hosting their first ever regional. They get their first win. It is a double elimination tournament. They would play the winner of Missouri State and Arkansas tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I believe that game will be on ESPN if you want to support the Jayhawks. Nick, man, appreciate your time. Enjoy this weekend, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, Canton. Always fun helping out with you.
Absolutely, man. That is Nick Springer joining us on the show. Coming up, there were 2 hypothetical trades proposed to the Chiefs. We'll go through them. Do either of them make sense? Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, and we're taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new features. Join us June 4th through 7th at our exciting new location at the Overland Park Convention Center. Get up close to the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss your chance to see your future of driving all in one place. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th at Overland Park Convention Center.
FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day during the playoffs. We're talking special drops you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. And the best part, it's every single day. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Here's how I'm handling the daily happy hour. I open the app, see what's available, and suss out. Maybe it's a profit boost on a player point total. Maybe it's a bonus bet, and I'll take a big swing and try to make some mega money and keep that bonus bet in my back pocket. So whether you're betting the early game or gearing up for prime time, make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you today. So go to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
In a world in need of a hero,
One man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. You'll always pay less. In Paola, we've got a crash, coming down up at 35 southbound past mile marker 31. Be prepared to tap your brakes through there. We've still got the crash cleanup Kansas side of things, 435 northbound, just past Holiday Drive, right lane blocked. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. Let's go through, on ESPN, they had like a range of different trades that they were proposing for different teams. They had 2 for the Chiefs, so why don't we go through them? For the Chiefs, they had the Bears would get next year's 3rd-round pick from Kansas City, and Kansas City would get tight end Cole Kmet and the Bears' 5th-round pick. Do you think this is a trade that Kansas City would do? Is this a trade you'd be interested in? Now, the answer from me would just be absolutely not. If you are buying what they are telling you about next year's draft, if you are a believer that next year's draft is going to be as good as they say it's going to be, I am not as interested as most people may be at the deadline to go out and make a move. I also think we could see that this year's trade deadline could be a little bit slower because a lot of teams are just really valuing, really hoarding those picks and rather roll the dice and see what they get in next year's NFL draft. I feel like you can spend a 3rd-round pick and go find your own Cole Kmet. I think he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but You can't find this guy in the third round? Like on your own? You can't draft and develop this player on your own? He's fine. I mean, he's had more than 600 yards 2 times in his career. You can find this guy. So it's spending a third-round pick on a player where this year he's going to be your number 2 tight end, where then the expectation is at 28 years old, he steps in to be your guy. I'd rather just develop your own tight end. That's not really a trade I'd be super interested in if I'm Kansas City.
I wouldn't do it for a third, but I think you're underselling Cole Kmet a little bit here.
I think he's fine.
Cole Kmet's a good player. I'm not saying he's like the best tight end in the league, but he would automatically be the second best tight end on the team, and you can absolutely him be heir apparent and feel comfortable him being heir apparent at 28. I agree with you on the trade, but I just think
you can find this guy. So the
Chiefs never have, though. Not the Brett Veach Chiefs.
Yeah, they also haven't really tried. I mean, they also haven't spent they haven't spent a decent resource to try to find a good tight end. So this is what Cole Kmet has been in his career. If you look at his average, 48 catches, 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. You can't find that guy on your own. And I'm surprised you would make this move, because you usually would be, why would you sign up for the veteran deal, spend your 3rd, 4th, or 5th round pick, develop that guy, and a much higher – Cole Kmet just doesn't have a much higher ceiling than what I think he is as a guy. I think best case scenario for Cole Kmet is what he was basically in 2023. He had 70 catches for 700 yards and 6 touchdowns, which is a good tight end. I just think you can do more. You can do better.
I do the trade. I wouldn't make the trade. I just think the trade is because of, you mentioned that, the draft and the Chiefs needing a lot of things next offseason, and I wouldn't give up a 3rd-round pick to do it. But I think you were a little underselling of Cole Kmet saying he's fine. He is a plus tight end in the NFL. And you're right, the Chiefs haven't really tried to find a tight end. They've used a 4th and a 5th-round pick on one, and they have 2 backup tight ends to show for it. They also traded a 7th-round pick last year for a tight end, and I don't even know if that guy's still on the roster. It's like, I mean, they've taken more shots at tight end than I think you're giving them credit for. Never a premium pick, but they've taken
consider
shots.
Those to be shots, and I mean, just you got to fill out the roster. We're talking about 53 guys. Those players got to come from somewhere, so you're not going to get all of those guys in free agency. You got to draft and develop your own kind of guys. They've never taken what you and I would consider to be a swing at the position, which I'm not asking them to. You never had to take a swing at the tight end position. So I'm reading this text line 913-586-7965. Wide receiver and tight end seem to be Brett Veach's bugaboos. He can't hit on those positions. I don't know if they've ever tried to hit on tight end. I don't know if they've ever tried to hit. Certainly, they've tried to hit on wide receiver, but I mean, Noah Gray, right? They spent the draft pick on Noah Gray. Noah Gray in college, Rob, had 900 yards receiving over 4 seasons. He wasn't a high-end tight end prospect to begin with. The highest number of yards that Noah Gray had in college was 392 for a season. So it seems to me Noah Gray has developed exactly into what he was in college. Fine. He's a good blocker. He's reliable. He stays healthy. He'll be there for you. But drafting that guy who played 4 years and had less than 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns in 4 seasons, you didn't take a swing at tight end. Now, eventually, they're going to have to take a swing at tight end. They're going to have to find Sam Laporta. They're going to have to find a TJ Hawkinson. They're going to have to find a Dalton Kincaid type, but they've never come close to doing that now.
They have not found that type. My point was just, now they've taken big swings. You're allowed to find productive tight end 2s in the 4th and 5th round, and Jared Wiley and Noah Gray are not that. Cole Kmet was not a 1st-round pick. He was not a big swing when the Bears drafted him. This wasn't like taking Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland. Like, the Chiefs have never found their version of Cole Kmet, which is a productive tight end that was not a premium pick. I wouldn't make the trade, but I think Cole Kmet's a good player, and I would like to see him in KC if he was a free agent.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. See how his peak year is average considering what type tight ends do. His 700 is tops, granted, with a lesser a lesser quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. I feel like in 2023, Cole Kmet got used a lot more than I think I would expect him to be used in Kansas City. In 2023, he got 90 targets. Like that's a high number. I know quarterback. I'm not saying quarterback isn't important. You guys know over the years, I'm way bigger on target and how many times they give you chances to make plays. The Bears threw it to him 90 times. He averaged 9.8 yards per catch, and they couldn't wait to draft his replacement. Now, his replacement, Colston Loveland, looks like he could be that guy. He looks to be really, really good at the position and a guy that their quarterback believes in and trusts. So that's important. Now, that wasn't the only one. I'm not interested in that one. Now, I think this one is something people will be interested in. Very simple. Chiefs give up a 2027 fourth-round pick. In exchange, they would get Kayvon Thibodeau, who was a former top 10 pick, has not panned out to be what people thought he could be, and is on the last year of a deal. I would not trade for Kayvon Thibodeau, not a fourth-round pick.
You would not?
I'd much rather spend the money and go get Von Miller or spend the money and go get Cam Jordan and keep the pick.
I would agree, but
he played in 10 games last year and had 2.5 sacks.
He has not been good.
Not at all. So I'm giving up a fourth-round pick for that guy, 2.5 sacks. I'd rather go get Cam Jordan if we're going to do that and just keep the pick. Keep the flexibility.
I guess the question would be, and I'm playing devil's advocate here.
And also, sorry to cut you off, Kayvon Thibodeau now isn't going to be cheap because it's a fifth-year option. So the rookie contract part of it, he's making basically what I think Cam Jordan's going to make this year.
I'm just curious. I think the idea would be you're buying low and there's still prime there would be the logic. I agree with you, but just playing devil's advocate, is there still more to be unlocked in Kayvon Thibodeau?
Maybe. It's possible.
I mean, he's probably 24, 25 right now?
Yeah, he is 25 years old.
Yeah, the idea is you give him a fourth-round pick, and you're hoping to unlock the talent and maybe give him an extension on the back end. But if it's not, it's a fourth-round pick. That would be the logic.
I'm just saying that's the only way I think that deal is good is if he is in the long-term plans of the Chiefs, which is not a bad plan. But Kayvon Thibodeau this year is making $14.7 million fully guaranteed on a fifth-year option. You can get Cam Jordan cheaper than that. You can get Von Miller cheaper than that. And keep your draft pick. Keep your flexibility. I'm shocked you're for these deals. You're normally Mr. Pick Hoarder. You want as many picks as possible. I don't want to make a trade. I want to keep these picks. You're now willing to trade a fourth-round pick for a fully guaranteed Kayvon Thibodeau, especially with the draft that everybody loves.
I think one of the reasons everyone loves the draft is quarterback, which the Chiefs won't need in the draft. So I think the Chiefs can be a little more fast and loose with the picks than usual because what makes the upcoming draft great? Quarterback. There's like 9 that could go in the first 2 rounds. You know what the Chiefs don't need in the first 2 rounds? Quarterback. Or if they do, there's a disastrous season on the horizons. Sure. But maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm not worried about the greatness of the draft is because it's a quarterback draft, which doesn't affect the Chiefs in the least.
Yeah, someone on the text line, you have to make that trade immediately. You're bugging. I do that in a heartbeat. I would say that with some of these guys, we do this all the time. I would say you guys are doing that right now with Xavier Worthy. First round pick, you don't want to give up on him. You think in a new situation, a new coach, a new thing, you can unlock some ability that he's never had. Kayvon Thibodeau has played. He was a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. A top 5 pick. He's been either hurt or unproductive the last 2 seasons. Either one of the two. He had 5.5 sacks. He had 2.5 sacks in his last 22 games. He has 8 sacks. No thanks. I'm okay. Not at that cost. Not at that pick acquisition. Not at how much Kayvon Thibodeau cost. So both of these trades for me are a no.
I'd be more interested in Thibodeau than Kmet.
Oh, for sure. I'd much rather have Kayvon Thibodeau than Cole Kmet if those are my 2 options.
I also think for a fourth-round pick,
you also get a pick back in that Cole Kmet trade, which kind of does make it interesting.
I also think with Kayvon Thibodeau, if I'm drafting an edge rusher in the 4th round, I would bet there's more talent in Kayvon Thibodeau than whoever that pass rusher is. But that's one of the reasons I'd be more willing to risk it with Thibodeau.
Somebody said he had his spot taken by that rookie. He wasn't playing that many snaps. That's even more reason why I'm not giving you a 4th-round pick for him. The money and lack of control is what bothers me the most with Kayvon Thibodeau. If he was a 3rd-round pick and it was 3rd-round rookie money, we'd be having a different conversation. $14 million fully guaranteed for this season? He'd be the 2nd highest paid defensive player for the Chiefs this season under that deal, behind Chris Jones. Karlaftis' deal hasn't kicked in where he's making that much money, not for this upcoming season. I'm not interested in Kayvon Thibodeau being the 2nd highest paid player on the defense, not with what he's done so far in his career. We got a Game 7 coming up in the NBA on Saturday. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell doesn't fudge on deliciousness. Our new black raspberry fudge ice cream in pints and half gallons combines black raspberry flavored ice cream with dark chocolate flavored chunks and a chocolate fudge swirl. The result is real. Taste the truth.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at select Walmart supercenters and select neighborhood markets.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boost. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This report is brought to you by Bet365. Winning is everything.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Missouri.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information.
This is George Karloftis, and you're listening to your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by New Century Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram in Paola. You'll always pay less in Paola. We have the crash up La Security 35 southbound past mile marker 31. Very heavy. Right lane is blocked. Northbound side is heavy as well. Kansas side of things, that crash to working for 35 northbound past Holiday. Scoot to the left through here, 2 right lanes blocked.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, welcome back. I'm picking the Thunder at home. Game 7. Experience of it all. Feels like the right side to be on. Jalen Williams is out for OKC, though. Is there another special Wemby game in there where Wemby is just the difference maker in all of this? I mean, I want San Antonio to win. I would like for them to advance, and to see Wemby play in Madison Square Garden could just be, I mean, it could be exciting. But I think being on the side of the Thunder is the right side to be on heading into Game 7. I actually have not seen the spread. Don't tell me, Rob. Thunder minus 4.5.
Give me a minute here to look it up.
That's what I'm guessing it is. I don't know. I have not checked it yet.
Let's scroll over to NBA. Thunder minus 3.5.
3.5. Okay. All right.
I mean, there's not much juice to it, though. It's like minus 108 to minus 112.
I think that's the right side to be on for tomorrow. They're at home. They've played in these games. They've won these games before. They had a Game 7 last year in the NBA Finals. That's the case. I will say everything continues to work for the Knicks right now. Letting these two teams beat each other up the way that they have while the Knicks are just sitting pretty right now and resting up and getting ready, giving OG Anunoby more time to get healthy and get prepared. This is exactly what I think you would want if you're the Knicks. Your last 3 opponents have all played a Game 7. I think this is what you want if you were them.
It is worth noting, I looked it up for fun. If the Spurs win, they're a 3.5-point favorite in Game 1 over the Knicks. If the Thunder win, they're a 5.5-point favorite in Game 1 over the Knicks. So despite the rest advantage against either team, Vegas still feels like the Knicks head on the road means that the Knicks could be in trouble for Game 1.
Yeah, I would pick the Knicks over the Spurs. I will not pick them against the Thunder.
I would agree with that.
And I would hate to pick against Wemby too, but I think the Knicks will beat the Spurs.
I want to see what Wemby does in Game 7 before I'm 100% confident that. If he has another Game 1 type performance, I could be swayed that he's having a Giannis 2021 type of moment. Come here, Giannis couldn't be stopped that year. I thought the Suns were the better team, and it didn't matter. Giannis was just
got up 2-0 in that series, if you remember right. And then Giannis just said, no, I'm good. we're done with this.
We had a moment in time where we thought Mike Budenholzer was a good coach because Giannis said, I'm going to win a title now. Thank you.
There was a pretty interesting article I would encourage you guys to read if you're interested in the World Cup from a business ticket perspective. 2 weeks to go, thousands of tickets still available for the U.S. World Cup opener. That's been 8 years in the making. Somebody retweeted this and said, this is an excellent in-depth piece on World Cup tickets, which highlight 3 things. There are tons of unsold tickets who are at sky-high prices. There is a lot of demand for the World Cup, but only if the tickets are more moderate. That the goal was to extract maximum profit for fans. FIFA is likely waiting to the very end to drop prices. I mean, that's 100% what's happening. the market's going to crash, I think, on some of these games. Some of them they're going to stay high because they're really big events. Like, I don't think you're getting into that Argentina game for cheap, for example. But that Netherlands game, what's that one we're going to?
Algeria and Austria.
Yeah, I think some of those games you're going to get in for the nothing. I might sell the ones I can just try to see if I can rebuy in at a cheaper price. Might be now the time to get out of those.
Yeah, I mean, if people know what we know, that you might not be getting your full value back.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I didn't spend that much. Only what was like 130?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I might just go, but I do want to go to the game. But I want to go that Netherlands one too. I'd be interested in going to one of the knockout round games. I'm just assuming it's going to be crazy.
That's going to be a different price.
Yeah, I'm just assuming
that price point would make sense to me based on
for sure. Especially if it's that round of 16 game we might be having,
which would be Portugal and Argentina.
If everything plays itself out right.
You ain't seen Ronaldo, Messi for cheap.
No, for sure. Not if that's the case. Well, all right, we got Game 7 coming up this weekend. Hopefully the Royals can get back to winning this weekend. We'll catch up with you guys on Monday. Until then, I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the week.